People are really split on if it works, but it worked for me. After that happened, one of the incisions, most of which were very small, because they basically just like futz with the nerves in whatever area causes your migraines. Mine are my forehead and my temples. Haven't had one since. Some people it's their nose is a pressure point. Some people it's the back of their neck. But one of my incisions, which is up here, I got a staph infection and it opened from being like a tiny little thing to like a fucking cavern that I had on my head. So I have this big scar here. The surgeon suggested that I remove that scar because excess scar tissue, there can be a bunch of negative side effects long term. It also was just big and ugly. But like I didn't have to pay for it. It was considered part of the same medical procedure. So we cut the scar out. In cutting the scar out, this eyebrow got lifted higher than the other one. This is such a long saga. The eyebrow got lifted higher than the other one. And because I had permanent makeup, which is eyebrow tattoos, I then started to get this one removed. So I got this eyebrow tattoo removed on this side. Which now means this eyebrow is just super thin until I can get it all redone, basically. So I have to wear makeup on this eyebrow right now to make it look the same as the other eyebrow. It's been an event. This eyebrow's it's just garbage. It's just shit. I got half a facelift. I got technically like a single side brow lift. It did like go down significantly over time, but yeah. Thank you, Lars. Pants on Fars. If migraines didn't know you can do surgery to remove it. Yeah, it's not that common that people do the surgery. Again, mine were pretty extreme because of the whole potential brain damage thing. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But I do at VidCon, you know, VidCon stuff. Face situation workout. My face is fine. I am thinking about getting an eyebrow transplant. Was it surgery strain on brain? Migraine surgery is not brain surgery. A lot of people assumed it was brain surgery. It's not. It's nerve surgery. So they basically flipped my face backwards. And I don't really know what they do in there, but they sever various nerves that are causing issues. I don't know why I keep peaking so much on this goddamn microphone. Because I feel like I'm not loud and then suddenly it just like massively peaks. There's some like sensitivity issue or something. Because now it looks like I'm really quiet. But before I was peaking. So weird. Thank you, Alec. Hello, Malek from Toronto. Yeah, you can get eyebrow transplants and they're crazy. Okay, so what they do, and again, I think I probably will do it just so I don't have to wear makeup at all. Like, because even when I do it, this eyebrow still looks shit. Like, it never looks good. Because it's just makeup on one side of your face is stupid. And I don't know, whatever. They take hair from the back of your head and plant it into your eyebrow. It's very long and slow. Because I guess like it takes a long time to like, you have to individually plant those follicles and make sure they're facing the right way so they grow the right way. So if I were to just let it grow, it would grow as long as the hairs on the top of my head. So I could have one eyebrow that would, it's the same way that, yeah, it's the same way dudes do hair transplants with like the front of their head. Right? So like, any kind of hair transplant functions the same way. They're just doing it into your eyebrow. But basically, you just have to trim it. So I'm thinking about it. I've spoken to somebody about it. It's not cheap is the only problem. I just feel like it would make my life easier. I wouldn't have to do the makeup every day. I'm so fucking lazy. And I love the eyebrow tattoos, but at this point, there's just so much less hair on this eyebrow that even with the tattoos, you can just fucking see it. Like, I don't know, dude. Why so many bings? It's what XQC had in his title. Actually, his whole thing was just bing, 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 bong, 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 bong. And I just felt like that was too much. I would have to cut my eyebrows, yes. Which, to be fair, most of the stylish girlies are doing anyway. Most women are trimming their eyebrows anyway. Some people get the hair transplanted from their lower back. I guess you could do it from anywhere, really. But your eyebrow hair is pretty similar consistency to the hair on your head, so that's what they suggest. I have those headaches while working in IGN. The migraines, I think, started... I could actually pinpoint the year that they started because I remember the first time I had a really bad one. Let me find it. The exact first time that I had a really, really bad one, I was in San Francisco. Max Scoville had a cyberpunk party. And I was supposed to meet up with friends the day before that party. And I couldn't leave the hotel room because of a migraine. And it was the first one that I remember being really, really, really bad. So let me find out exactly when that was. Because I have not had them my whole life or anything. And haven't had them since. Also pretty common though. Okay. I've since met many people who've had them. What are we looking for? When did I have the worst migraine that I ever had? But I mean, yeah, I had them through the pandemic, and like I remember there was one time I was having a meeting at my current day job while bent over a toilet while vomiting. And I was just muting myself between talking so I could throw up. Because, yeah, they just made me throw up so much. It was not good. It's too much effort to find the cyberpunk picture. I can't find it. I think it was like, I maybe got them like right after I left IGN, maybe. I think. Max had a cyberpunk party. A cyberpunk party. It was a party. What about pit hair on the head? Or would that be too smelly? I don't think your armpit hair smells. I think your armpits themselves smell. Like a CDP of a cyberpunk party? No. Like it was like, yes, but it was just a party that was like cyberpunk themed. Like everyone dressed that way, so. Surgery did work. Wound is healed. Face mostly normal. Yes, I still have a big scar, but I don't really care. Like the scar is big. And often when I talk to people about it, they're like, that's medical malpractice. You should sue them. But even with the scar, I would still do the surgery 10,000 times over, you know? Like it worked, so what do I... Yeah, it's a big ugly scar, but who cares? Also, I have this crazy thing where if I touch right here, it feels like heaven. This feels so nice. Something, I hope it never goes away, because it's been like that since I had the surgery. Something about like, you know how like a head rub feels good? It's that times 1,000. It's like I have a head clitoris. It feels so nice, just not at all sexual. But basically it gave me like, it's like I have a nice, like, I have a feel-good spot. If you touch that, I'll go, oh, it's so nice. Weird nerve damage from surgery? Probably. Like a dog having their head scratched, totally, yeah. Yeah, I definitely get upset whenever the hairdressers don't massage my head. It does give me tinglies, yes. Totally does. It feels great. Big fan. And it's like, so it's like mostly at the front, but it's also back here. So it goes from like this, the front part is the part that like, you will catch me do this. Like I'll just sit there and there's no way that I haven't like done that on a podcast or whatever. Just sat there and be like, oh man, that's that good shit. But it feels good all the way back to about here. Like this whole area just feels so nice to touch. It's the weirdest fucking thing. So strange. But I hope it doesn't go away. I just have a head clitoris, like I said. Do I still have a dog? I sure do. He's in the next room chewing on a bone. So like relaxing or exciting to touch. It's non-sexual. It's but it's not relaxing either. You know if somebody scratches your back, it's kind of like that. And you like kind of get tingles. Yeah, it's very sensory specific. But like I just do it all the time now. Or like if somebody like does that to the palm of your hand. It's similar in that kind of way, where it's like just a really nice sensory feeling. That's how I would describe it. It just feels nice. That's it. It doesn't turn me on. It just feels real nice. So yeah, I went to VidCon. I had a little place in Anaheim where I basically spent every lunch break I could in the pool with Banjo. I genuinely feel like I went on a vacation with my dog and we bonded. I don't know if that's a normal thing to experience, but I feel like we're closer now from that week that we spent there in Anaheim. Obviously, I was still working the whole time. And yeah, what else did I have to say? My PC's fixed, so I will have some more content on my IRL channel going up. I guess I've unintentionally been involved in just a lot of controversy on YouTube over the past couple of weeks. It happens sometimes. Again, usually I just don't see it. I saw them this time because I'm spending more time online because I'm already miserable. Which, you know, I can tell you I'm going to change, but am I for now? I don't know. I'm fine. You know? VidCon is a YouTube convention. Super keen to hear how they fixed the PC. Yeah, so the thing that was wrong with the PC was the same thing that I always said, which is just the pumps were fucked. The coolant system was fucked, so we had to replace the whole thing. Which again, was what I always said that it was. Which is why I was, whenever people were offering advice, I was like, no, it's good. I know what the problem is. Just have to have the time to fix it. And it is now seemingly fixed. We'll see how long for. Thank you, Metalhead Tommy. I'm not a huge fan of VidCon, to be perfectly honest. You don't need to go. You don't need to do all that. It's fine. Yes, I called a plumber for my liquid cool PC for sure. But yeah, hopefully it stays. Thank you, Connor. Yes, this is a Shovel Knight shirt. I did go to the Yacht Club 10-year anniversary party at VidCon. What actually happens in VidCon? Great question. There are a bunch of YouTubers do a bunch of panels and meetups and stuff. There are meetings. And the reason I don't really like it is just the show floor is just a lot of like, I don't know, like Gen Z tech brands doing photo ops. Like it's just places for you to pose because they want you to tag them on social media. It's like, have you ever heard of like the ice cream, what do they call them? It's the ice cream museum, I think is what they call it. Museum of ice cream. But it's not really a museum of ice cream. It's just a place for you to take pretty Instagram photos. It's like that kind of shit. But the whole, and I was like, oh, but I really wanted to learn about ice cream. But it's like just for photos. And that's like what VidCon feels like to me personally. I have been to TwitchCon. Yeah, I went last year. I might go this year. I know that I have something in theory to reveal at TwitchCon this year. Like I'm helping to organize a panel for a thing I'm working on. But not related to Santa Monica Studio. But I'm not sure if I'll be able to go on the dates that it is. Am I excited for Batman Cape Crusader animated series? It looks really good. You know the voice of Batman is Hamish Linklater, who is the priest in Midnight Mass, which is crazy. It doesn't sound like him at all. Hello, Banjo. Hello, little munchkin. What you doing? We're being a good boy. What you sniffing? What's all the sniffs? Oh, hello. Oh, hello, sweet boy. Oh, hello, little boy. Where's my best friend? That's what you want. You're just a cute little boy. Hi, Banjo. Oh, the little Banjo. He wags his little tail. How'd you get so cute? Explain yourself. How did you get so cute? He did not swim. I tried every day. He's too scared. Just too scared. Little scaredy cat boy. What the little noise doing up here? Hello, Banjo. Do I think Banjo's inner monologue has an Aussie accent or an American accent? As much as I hate to admit it, my son is indeed American. He's an American dog. So it has to be American. How long do you write for a game generally? For AAA, at this point, it's like 5 to 8 years. It's a long time. Let's get what we started voting for. Oh boy, what an election year. What a great time. I get that somewhat often. Cybernery, who said your Elden Ring DLC freaked me out because the tattoo was on the wrong arm. Yeah, sometimes the camera software flips it. So I forget it's even flipped until people in the comments are like, why'd you flip your video? Like, I didn't realize it was flipped. It just doesn't even occur to me that it's flipped. Obviously, I edit my own videos. I just don't, like, notice. For some reason. What do I know about GTA 6? I know some things about GTA 6 that you don't know. That's all I'll say. I know some things. I have some info. I got some intel. Am I allowed to vote? No, I am not. I am not. How many things? I mean, things I shouldn't know. I'm not telling you shit. Definitely not telling you anything. It's nothing to do with me. But yeah, I'm aware of some things that I'm sure they would be upset if they knew I knew. And that's all we'll say. That's all we'll say. Become a whistleblower? You know, I have whistleblown some things before. 2 things, technically. Well, more than that. So the first one was I said that a new Half-Life game was coming. And it's so funny, that video got no views. And then after it came out and turned out to be true, people were like, what the fuck? Because I was like, also a new Half-Life is coming and it's in VR. People just didn't believe me, and obviously it turned out to be true. But like, it was like such a, like, people just so badly didn't believe it that it didn't get any traction. The second thing was the time that I leaked the direct, which was sort of an accident. And now Nintendo hates me. Like, badly hates me, which, like, I'm very surprised by how much they hate me, because it was so flippant. Like, I leaked the date of a direct because I had something telling me the embargo of something from a different company where it only made sense that that embargo was there for the direct. So I was like, yeah, no, it's this day. Nintendo themselves didn't tell me. But I just didn't think about it. Like, it's like I half forgot that it hadn't been announced. And I was right. And they moved the day of the direct because of me. I used to think no one's going to move anything because of leakers. And I now believe that that's not true. I believe that the date of the direct was moved because of me. And Nintendo has threatened people I'm friends with because of that. Like, took it mad seriously. Like, you're friends with Alanah Pierce? How can we trust anything you fucking do or say? Like, pretty wild. To which I'm like, sorry. And I apologize to all of my friends who work there. I was like, I'm really sorry. I just didn't really think about it. People have done much worse, but you know, it is what it is. I didn't expect it to make news either, to be fair. And so, like, when it made news headlines, I'm sure that pissed them off. People work really hard on that stuff. Like, it, you know, it does suck to have leaks. So, yeah. People always think that I still get game codes for stuff and everything as well. Sony does not give me game codes for anything and is not allowed to. So I do not get any PlayStation games for free, which is crazy considering they pay my bills. Nintendo doesn't. Ubisoft will. Bandai will. Sega will. But I have to ask. Xbox are currently the only company in the gaming space that will give me a code without me needing to ask for it. But I don't do reviews anymore or anything, so it don't matter. I like completely stopped doing previews and reviews, and I'm trying to, and I've spoken about this a little, I'm trying to change my content, and every time that this happens, like the shit that's happened over the past week happens, I keep thinking I should do it more and more. And I'm making less gaming content. Like, I'll still play games here on Twitch all the time, but making less gaming content on the main channel and doing more other kinds of commentary. Like my next video is going to be about obesity. You'll see. Wait for it, you'll see. But outside of like really huge topics like the Elden Ring thing, where I think I can add extra context, because that's always what I'm trying to do with a video like that, is like, if I think I have info to provide that other people don't have, let me do that. But usually people just get mad. Like, the truth about game dev is YouTube gaming dudes don't want to know things. They want to think they're right and have their opinion reinforced. So me being like, I'm going to educate people, isn't helpful. They mostly don't want it, you know? Did I make an IRL channel for that? The IRL channel is for vloggy stuff. And I intend to do more collabs with friends on there, and like more like silly, like stupid challenge video stuff. I'm gonna do a tour of every plant that I own that I know is gonna get no views, but who cares? I own like 50 plants now, and they all have names. One of them is Mark Sony. I've got a Yoko Taro. I can tell you the names of all the plants in here. Actually, he doesn't have a name, but I call him Astrobot, technically. This is Freya, the one at the very back. This one hanging here is Silverhand. This is Kratos. This one over here is Baldo. And then I have an RX-78 up here as well. All my plants have names. A lot of plants. I got a lot of plants. So he's a peace lily. That is a ZZ plant. That is a pothos. That is a money tree. That is also a pothos. And the one over here is a hotleaf philodendron. And I have a lot of fucking plants. And I love them. So many fucking plants. Yeah, I've got a Mark Cerny. I have, I think I've got like, they're mostly all named after video games, but we have a Miyamoto as well. The ones down by the TV, I did have one named Phil Spencer, and I felt like it was too weird, so I renamed him. Okay, yeah, we have a Genyo, a Kujolski, a Sony, Jinsakai, and I went with Herman. I felt too weird about having a plant named Phil Spencer because I feel like I know Phil a little bit too well, and it's just a little bit weird. How do you maintain all of it? I'm so glad you asked me about my plants. Thank you. I just have plants that don't need a lot of water. So all of the plants that have high watering needs, I only have 2 ferns that need to be moist most of the time. And I do technically have 1 ivy right now, but I've already killed 4 ivy. So I'm sure that one will also die because fuck ivy. But all the plants I have just don't need very much water. They can go several weeks without water. And it's pretty chill. Save it for the video. Yeah, you're right. I'm going to give you a hot plant reveal. No. Ivy's not the name of the plant. It is an ivy. Like, the plant is an ivy. Ivy is named after the plant, not the other way around. Like, poison ivy is named after the ivy plant. My ivy is called Melania. Actually. So, got a lot of fucking plants. Not a lot of direct sunlight. No, a lot of them are in direct sunlight. I mean, like, some of the ones here next to a window, they get sun. Whenever I'm away, I move them all towards the windows. But again, they're just not plants that need a lot of water, so it works out okay. I do not have any carnivorous plants, no. I do not. Are all money plants ivy plants? Money plants, a money tree, this guy, is not a type of ivy. Oh yeah, happy Canada Day, everybody. I forgot that was a thing. Happy Canada Day, Canadian gamers. Canada, eh? Where are you running around to, Banjo? What you doing, Banjo? What? I saw your tail. I saw it. A Banjo, come. He said no. He said, fuck off, bitch. Banjo, come. What are you doing? Oh, what do you got in your mouth? That's actually not yours. God, my hair looks so messy. I don't care. That's not yours. That's not for him. That is not for him. You're not supposed to have that. Now I want poutine. Now I want poutine. So good. So good. Yeah, if you missed the drama today, basically I made a YouTube video in which I talk about situational disabilities, which is a known term in video game accessibility. It's about Elden Ring. And in that video, I did not at any point say that I think that it needed to be like one of the various shitbags who are obsessed with me on the internet made a video where the headline is like, Dev is demanding changes. At no point in the video did I demand anything change. I just like was like, let's also talk about accessibility because I'm a person who's worked on accessibility on a AAA video game. I have quite a bit of expertise. And so I explained what a situational disability is. It was like, there are multiple kinds of situational disabilities, or disabilities, more than you would think where accessibility is concerned. A situational disability is something that is like literally, Banjo, that's not for you, very situational. And one of the examples that's frequently used in like design ethos is if you have a kid and you are trying to play a game like Elden Ring and your kid runs past and spills something. And because you can't pause, you have to run and the boss kills you. That's an example of a situational disability that would be alleviated by including a pause menu. It's all very basic technical terms. It's all very normal shit, right? That people are just really upset about me saying that. Again, not for any valid reason. They just really want to be. I mean, you could totally say you're upset with the word disability, but I didn't invent that. It just is what it is, you know? It's just, that's what it's called. And I think that's like, it's probably a little different for people who work in tech because we use disabled. I think maybe most people who don't work in tech in some way use or associate the word disabled really strongly with human beings who have physical disabilities. But we use disabled all the time. We disabled that. This has been disabled. And a situational disability is just basically something that happens that prevents you from being able to do something. It's very, again, it's maybe an overly technical term, but I wouldn't expect the general public to start using that term. I was just explaining a technical term to people who wouldn't know a technical term was the intent. But yeah, because they like to be mad at me specifically, it's a big thing. Yeah, there's headlines like this shitbag YouTube dude headlines like says having kids makes you disabled. People acting like it's oppression Olympics. People are assuming that I have a kid and that's why I would say that when it's like it's actually just a core design ethos thing. And the take is that I'm saying that having a kid is a disability, but that's not what it means at all, you know? And then earlier in the week, people were really mad at me about the Dr. Disrespect stuff because they're crazy. That one was extra weird. I was just like, what's wrong with any of you people? Because I made a video where I said 4 separate times that things were alleged, but I said that it adds up. This is before his announcement. I was like, this makes sense. This makes sense to me that this is probably what happened. But I did say, again, 4 times in that video that it was rumored alleged that we didn't know. And then he admitted to it. Yeah. But they were upset about that. It's been a fun week. That one was fun. When people like were deleting their comments, of which a lot of them did. I was accused of having bias, of not being a good journalist. Where like I'm not a journalist. It's the dumbest thing. I don't know how many fucking times I have to tell people I'm not at all a journalist. None of it was journalism or reporting. I just read the news and gave my opinion on it. Totally biased. Totally. It is what it is. Seem to handle it well. Does this type of whinging online ever affect you? It doesn't affect me mentally at all. Like, it has no impact on my mood at all. Um, the only way that it affects me is something that I'm thinking about more and more often as this stuff happens. Is that I'm so aware that I make videos about shit people don't want to hear. And I try not to publicize this that much, but like, you know, it's not like I've hidden it. I think it's also a really big autism thing. Okay. So like I get really, it doesn't make any sense to me when people get upset about something that wasn't there. Like it, and I feel like it happens to me all the fucking time. Like I'm just like, but I didn't say that. What do you mean? And then I get so caught up in the definition and of things being factual and accurate, and people applying emotion to things is very confusing to me when I'm like, these words are completely neutral. Why are you emotionally reacting to it? And it's the thing that I get caught up on more often than anything else on the internet. And I don't know how to turn that, how to fix it. I don't know how to change it. I don't think I can. I just get so like, this is the literal definition of this thing. What are you talking about? And the same thing happened with the doc thing. I was like, I said 4 times that this was alleged, just that it adds up. Where's the emotion in that? That's just a fact. And then because I'm a woman, they'll always come in with like emotional take. Where's the rational logic? But they're the ones doing that, you know? I just have a lot of trouble with people assigning emotion to things, to words that that I see as completely neutral. And that trips me up all the time. But no, the only thing that affects me, obviously, that I always get in my own head where I'm like, am I just being autistic? And I'm just not seeing it, and I'm fucking like, why do you care about this? What's going on? I probably am most of the time. But the way it changes my content, again, I don't do journalism. I try to make videos where game development is concerned, where I give people information that they otherwise could not have, because most YouTubers that we listen to talk on gaming know nothing about video games. Nothing about video games. They've never worked on video games. They've just played a few of them. Half of them don't even fucking play the games they're talking shit about, right? That's why I made that fake gamers video. It's very weird that we listen to these people as experts when they have never worked in the industry and have no more knowledge than anyone else. They act like they know so well. So I try to make videos where I add context or like give a perspective that people don't have. And the only way that this kind of shit affects me on the internet is that I feel like I shouldn't do that. That I'm like, okay, I know people don't want to hear it. I know they don't want to hear the truth about this thing. I know that it'll just make people mad. So I should just not make the video. But then I'm like, but what's the point? Like my number one hero in life is Carl Sagan. He went out of his way to make the knowledge he had on astrophysics as accessible to people as possible. I feel shitty if I would not do that. It's just the landscape we're in is very different now to when Cosmos came out. Like, I know people don't want to hear a lot of the takes I have, even though I know they're true. Even if I know it's a fact and that I would be giving them information. But I'm like, they just want to be fucking mad. They don't actually give a shit about truth. They just want to be fucking mad. So what's the point? And that's the only thing that gets me. It's like, should I just not do that anymore? To be clear, I'm not Carl Sagan. Like, I'm not doing anything as helpful as what that dude ever did. I'm not trying to claim that, but yeah, I know that whenever I give any of the like, here's a game dev perspective I'm offering you, that's not what you hear from most YouTubers, that people don't want to hear it. That's the only part that I go, maybe I shouldn't give them the information if they're just going to be shitbags about it. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I'm planning to, for a long time, I've been planning to make more commentary stuff. Again, not a journalist. I don't do any research outside of just like citing other articles. I'm not like reaching out to people for comment or any of that shit in any of my content. But I already have been making less gaming content overall. I'm going to keep doing that. More fun, extra commentary stuff. So it's fun. Would I react to Capcom Showcase? Yeah, as long as it's not during work hours. Yeah, by commentary content, I mean stuff that's like the same as my Hollywood is lying about CGI video, or I made the ChatGPT video. Again, the video this week is going to be about obesity, sort of. So yeah. Does journalism require research to be considered actual journalism? No, actually, like, journalism just requires you to use a platform to publish information, really. But technically that's the term, but it's like, it's one of those terms that like we haven't updated when we should have. I would say journalism, in order to be a journalist, you have to work under some sort of code of ethics. Most YouTubers don't have anything along those lines, and we'll just publish lies and not give a shit, right? Some YouTubers, I think, could be journalists. Some are not. I do not consider myself to be a journalist in any capacity. Some people still call me a games journalist. I'm like, I fucking work for PlayStation. What do you mean? I can't be a journalist while working for a fucking first-party publisher. That's crazy. What made you want to start working out? I have really bad asthma if I am overweight. It's the big one. Wouldn't focus on the vocal minority. I hope you know I'm in the vast majority of your viewers that enjoy your perspective and insight to what you're able to provide. That's very nice of you. Thank you. And it's not like I don't know that. Like, I do know that the dudes who get mad at me are gonna get mad at me no matter what I say, and they're like looking to, right? Like, they like so blatantly will put my face in a thumbnail to try to get views, and you can look at their channels and that video has more views than any of their other shit. And then they're the same dudes who like complain about why I'm still relevant, and I'm like, well, I wonder who's doing that. Like, I know their hustle is to just use me to get clicks, right? And I know that they're being disingenuous and they don't actually care. It's just that I don't know that that many people do want the information in general. I think, and maybe I'm not a great person at giving it because of the autism thing, where I just like will say a sentence and be like, why did you take that emotionally? I don't fucking, what? Like, maybe I'm not the right person to do it because it just confuses the shit out of me every time. Surely was better. Oh, the Capcom showcase was yesterday? Oh, I didn't realize. Good to know. Will my U2s be out soon? The U2s is shipping in August, they said. Play, Watch, Listen is definitely makes sense to be a place that's informative. Next episode will be up tomorrow. I was supposed to publish it today, but life. And then we'll have one next week as well. But yeah, yeah, even though I know the vocal minority is not like, they're not people I take seriously. I don't like care. It's just like fighting an uphill battle. Like, there's such a big communication problem in gaming in general between the community and the publishers and the devs. And I don't know. The truth is I have made a difference, so it's hard to say. Like, I'm so sure that I have taught a fuck ton of people about the fundamental differences between publishers and devs. Like, I didn't see anyone fucking saying that on YouTube until I started saying it over and over again. That I'm like, these are not the publishers are the ones who putting in microtransactions, not devs. And I still have to say it because people still forget. But I'm so sure I've had like at least a little bit of an impact on that. So I don't know, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, basically just a lot of people don't want information. What happened? What happened in another life? Do I think this era of gaming is a bit of a letdown? No, I think we have some really great video games right now. How's Banjo doing today? He had physical therapy today. He's very hot. Very hot. Definitely a bummer that discourse is often monopolized by those simply who are shouting the loudest. I mean, it's just the people who want the most attention, right? Like, that's the social media way, is just people are incentivized to say the most outrageous thing possible for attention. Clip people out of context, take shit out of context. We all fall for it. It's impossible not to. But yeah. It is all engagement farming indeed. Yeah. Any emotional interpretation of your statements definitely comes from the viewer's preconceived bias. I mean, you're probably right, but again, like, I don't know. It's my number one struggle on the internet with any kind of text communication in general, actually, is I've been like that my whole life, though. I just really feel like it's a neurodivergent thing where I just cannot relate to people assigning emotion to words that have no emotion. It really confuses the shit out of me. And like, for every YouTube comment I've ever received about being monotonous and boring, I'm like, yeah, I can insert that much emotion into things. It's true. Being a contractor for Sony, does it limit what you can / say do on Twitch, YouTube, or social media in general, aside from being a normal, regular human being? So if I were a Sony employee, I would be extremely limited. But because I'm not, I'm a lot less limited. But like, I've never responded to this, but also one of my favorite, like, shitbag dude talking points that people bring up against me all the time. It's two things that people bring up all the time. One of them is that I was silent about the layoffs at Sony. The first video that I made about the layoffs, still up on my channel, just go look for it, is about Bungie. The first one is about Bungie. What do you mean? The first video is about Bungie, and I mentioned Sony in it. What do you mean? And I always want to be like, it's literally the first time I spoke about it was about Sony. What are you fucking talking about? And they're like, silent when Sony had them. No, I already spoke about Sony having them. It's the first fucking time. What do you mean? But like, it would just be such a waste of time to have to reply to all of them who say that, because it's like every day someone will say that, and I'll be like, it wouldn't be a good use of my time to be like, what about this fucking Bungie video where it's about layoffs at Sony? What about that video? You fucking idiot. The other one that is from Xbox fanboys is that I hate AI. This is not true. It's, I can find it because I replied to this girl not long ago who I don't know. I have my Twitter mentions turned off. So like, if you're wondering what my Twitter replies look like, it's, what am I doing here? Display capture. Oh, my Twitter like feed looks like. That's too many Alanahs. That's too many of them. Look at all those Alanahs. It's this. So this is what my Twitter notifications look like, okay? So like, most of the time, I don't see people screaming at me because I only get notifications from people I follow. So like, all of it, even if I click mentions, it's still only going to be people I follow. So I don't see anything from anyone unless I'm following them, right? So like, it's like majority of the conversations people have about me on Twitter, I don't see it unless I actively look for it, which again, I'm just kind of doing right now because I've been in a shitty mood. So I'm reading it and it's making me feel better. Again, I know that that's like, you shouldn't, but when life is shitty and like, I'm not starting arguments with strangers is my logic. Like, a lot of people do that, right? I'm not like being mean to randoms. It's only people who are coming at me. So yeah. But what's this one here? Let me, I've scrolled back pretty far to find this. But the shit people say about AI about me is so dumb and just not at all true. And I highly doubt this girl, whoever she is, replied, because they never do when you tell them that they're wrong. They never fucking do. They always just like, they'll call you a bitch or just like do a backflip and leave. You know what I mean? Like, that's the game plan. I really stand by this being a good tweet. This right here is a good-ass tweet. This is my friend Dave Milner. He said, real talk, what sorts of things do you do to balance out the gloom, doom, depression that comes with paying attention to the state of the world around you and are paying attention to some degree just by virtue of being here? Walk with dog. Walk with dog. Walk with dog is best way to cancel out sadness. Walk with dog. Have you considered walk with dog? You feel shitty? You should walk with dog. Think about it. You don't have to do it right now, but if you feel bad, think about walk with dog. Huge. Still just trying to find this reply that I left somewhere. Oh, I love this one too. Let me show you some of my hot tweets. I think this is really funny. So I wrote, unless you played Elden Ring with minimum brightness while blindfolded using ancient Japanese key bindings and your balls hooked up to a D3 400 V12 car battery while sucking your grandma's tits, you didn't actually beat the bosses and you're a fucking cheater, you fraud. He replied, literal strawman, lol, no one is saying this. So I said, no, everyone is saying this. Literal strawman, no one is saying this. That's the joke. Of course nobody's actually saying this. I think no, everyone is saying this is really funny. What do you mean? Literally everybody on the internet is saying that if you didn't suck your grandma's tits, you didn't beat Elden Ring. Everyone's fucking saying that, you dummy. I found that very funny, personally. What am I looking for here? One of the AI ones is what I'm looking for here. Oh, here we go. Yeah, she did not reply. So, I don't know who this is. Nobody go shit talk this person. I don't know who this is. She said, remember you're talking about someone who states they're anti-AI but are likely just ignorant to how much AI is involved in their job and paying their bills already. I can't wait to see how many jobs she turns down when AI becomes a massive staple in gaming, and I hope you'll be there cheering her on when she just has to move to some country town living off the grid because she can't bear the thought of AI taking others' jobs. But let's be real, click some money rule the day, so the whole virtuous artist thing is a joke. This is a bunch of shit I've never said. A bunch of shit I've never said. And this thread here, people just really be making videos about me, is also pretty funny. Like she said, whatever, it doesn't matter. But this one, I mean, you can see what I replied. This is not remotely true. I've made countless videos saying AI is already in video games and people need to stop freaking out about it as a catch-all term. I'm against AI being used for very specific kinds of writing and art generation, not against AI in general. What she said here, again, didn't reply, is just no, I've never said any of this. Just none of it. None of it is true. This is what they're referring to when they get mad at me about AI. Which is, and again, this one happens just as much as the quiet about Sony, is a tweet about Xbox announcing a partnership with in-world AI to bring generative AI to games, including AI game dialogue and narrative tools at scale. I read the article. In-world AI specifically aims to use ChatGPT-4 to replace writers. That's the goal of in-world. It's not that I'm against AI. I'm against in-world AI. Is it not crazy that I, as a writer, would not want to use any product that tries to replace me? And it's ChatGPT-4. They don't even use 5, or at least that's what it was at the time of announcement. So this is it. People use this as like some example of me being anti-AI in general. I'm totally not against AI in general. Not at all true. Many a video, many an occasion of me saying that AI is already used all the time, that AI is great for a bunch of reasons and is used in game dev. Plenty of the time, there are great use cases for it. I'm just against in-world because they use ChatGPT-4 with the sole intention of replacing writers. That's all I said. And this is what she said based on that one thing. Likely ignorant to just how much AI is involved in their job and paying their bills already. What? You just made that up. It's just made up. None of it's true. Can't wait to see how many jobs she turns down when AI becomes a massive staple in gaming. It's already a massive staple in gaming. And I'm not against AI. My stance, again, so that's the other one they use against me all the time. Is one is real quiet about Sony. I guess it's just all Xbox fans, isn't it? Real quiet about Sony, and the other one is hates AI. Do not hate AI. Just didn't want to use InWorld because their whole goal is to get rid of writers. I'm a writer. I really like writing. I like reading things humans have written. It's not a bold take for a writer to be against a software that's like main function is to use ChatGPT-4 to write. It's crazy. I don't know. But people don't really they just kind of jump. They're like, they're not going to, again, she didn't even respond. They don't give a shit about what the facts of what they're saying. They just want to get mad about the thing. Doesn't hate AI, hates people losing jobs. Even that, yeah, my AI stance is, and I've said this many times, but obviously people on Twitter don't care. I don't see the point in being alive if not to, at the very least, share human connection. What the fuck is the point of mankind in general existing? We can't just be a machine that consumes resources infinitely and that's it, which is certainly what's happening right now, and perpetually gets worse the more we use AI because of the amount of fucking energy it requires. If not to have human connection and community and expression, what the fuck is the point? What's the point? What do you live for? Dog is good point. Walk with dog is great counterpoint. But that's generally my approach. So it's I'm actually not even against AI tools being used. I'm not even against generative AI tools being used to assist in game development, as long as the product doesn't ship with the Gen AI, which we also know a lot of is theft, right? My stance is, it may be inevitable for as long as I can avoid it. I do not want to financially support anything or play anything that uses AI-generated art or AI-generated writing. That's my stance. Everyone else is welcome to have their own stance, but we're in World AI as a company. Again, their core ethos being they replace writers with ChatGPT. Yeah, I hate that. I don't hate AI in general. I don't want shit to do with InWorld. And it's you kind of have to pick and choose with stuff like this. And I don't know if my opinion will shift as time goes on. That's how that works too. Things don't have to be that black and white. It's just that the line I'm drawing right now is if it was not written or painted or whatever by a human, I do not want to support it. There was some Square Enix game or some shit that people were asking me about where they were like, oh, you didn't speak up about this. And I did. But the take for that was also, yeah, I don't like it. They used AI generated album covers or something. I didn't play it. Didn't play it. That's it. Didn't play it. It's fine if you wouldn't care if the results are really good. You're totally welcome to have that stance. That's just not my stance. I am trying to draw a line in the sand for myself where I care about humans making art. That's it. But they just don't give a shit about Nuance, so they just take that tweet where I said I will never play any game that InWorld has any part in making, which for as long as they are using InWorld to replace writing, I fucking stand by, as me hating all AI, which is not true at all and not a thing I've ever said. So it is what it is. Pretty dumb you're expected to speak on every controversy as a public figure, however small. I do also take massive issue with that in the social media era culture. This is probably not a popular take, as we've established. I have many unpopular takes. I don't think forcing every single public figure to say something about Palestine where they may be completely uninformed, and you'll cancel them if they don't, makes any sense. If someone doesn't know shit about something, totally go out of your way to educate them. But I think like screaming at them, like if they're not at all a political commentator in any capacity and they've never spoken up about the shit, why? It's the weirdest. I don't feel like it comes from a place of actually caring. I feel like it comes from a place of just wanting to feel like you're better than them. Like it's just, I don't know, man. It just, a lot of it feels really weird to me. I don't think we need to have everybody's opinion on everything. There's in the great words of Jurgen Klopp, the ex-coach at Liverpool, whom I love, and I actually had to mute Liverpool on social media because they keep posting stuff with Arne Slot, who is the new manager, and I'm not ready yet, so I muted them because I just don't, I can't see it yet. I'm just not ready to accept a new man, and when I am, I will unmute them, and I hope he does well, but I just am not ready to see it. Okay? I'm just not ready to see it. I don't. So I muted them. I love this. Jurgen had this really nice approach during COVID where people would ask what he thought of COVID, basically. And he'd be like, I'm a football manager. Football is not the biggest thing in the world. Why the fuck are you asking me? He's 100% right. Like, not everybody has to be a spokesperson for every cause. It's so silly. The pressure's so weird. Like, I just don't get it. You don't have to share an opinion on everything. I do think Taylor Swift deserves a little bit of criticism for how little she says about anything because she could make such a difference. Like, if Taylor Swift came out tomorrow and said, vote Biden, she would have an impact on the election. But for most people who realistically, a tweet's gonna have no fucking impact. Did she say vote Biden? Did she say that? I don't think she said shit. Most people, most content creators tweeting something about Palestine isn't gonna fucking change anything. And like, is it nice if someone who is informed shares? And would I encourage that? Yes. But like forcing people to who don't know anything about it, I don't get it at all. What if she says vote Trump? I mean, she was very anti-Trump the last election, so I'm sure if fans old enough to vote, at least half of them. At least half. Most famous people don't want to draw a line and divide their fans. Totally true, but also, Taylor Swift, her fans are so like fanatic that I feel like she could probably turn them. You know what I mean? Like, I think that, like, if she had a Trump supporter fan and she was like, vote Biden, they'd be like, vote Biden! I don't know. The people she impacts are already in blue states voting for Biden. Ooh, I think she's bigger than just blue states. That girl, famous. She famous. If Taylor wants RFK to win, she could do it. I'm convinced. I think she is currently like the most famous person on the planet, at least in the Western world. Trump is also very famous, obviously. But like, Taylor Swift, it's crazy. It's just so wild. Massive. Thank you, Thor, and thank you, Ramen Laughs. I wish she'd get a taxi or something instead of flying all the goddamn time. Okay, I have opinions on that too. Because I have opinions on everything, I guess. A lot of those times, those private jets, when you see the routes they're taking, are them being moved between airports and there's nothing on them, is take one. Take two. What is Taylor Swift supposed to do? Okay, is it terrible for the environment? Yes. But I would say, as opposed to what? Like, do you think that Taylor Swift can just get in a car and drive places? I feel like, genuinely, like, have you seen the footage of her trying to come out of a place that's not shut down and get into a car? And the amount of fucking push, like, it causes massive security issues on the streets. Just of her trying to leave a restaurant to get into a car. She has to, like, wear a fucking veil so that the paparazzi don't, like, cause a mob and people don't get crushed. Like, I don't know how she just gets in a car and drives. People would be following her as she got out of the airport into the car, would be chasing the car. Like, that's how we end up with Diana, but every single time Taylor Swift's in a car. And she still has to do it occasionally, obviously, to drive to places. But doing it all the time? Like, I feel like you want to minimize the amount of time that woman is on land. I think that it's just... She has to wear, like, disguises to do anything. You know? It's a lot. I get it. I think that she's a permanent, massive security risk and people could die if she is anywhere. It's like she's a little bomb that's just about to go off at all times. What's she supposed to do? You know? Fuck that, dude. Imagine being that famous. How awful. Ugh. Ugh. She should wear glasses, works for Superman. Yeah, just like give herself a little curl and wear some glasses and nobody will know. She could have her own religion by now. Baby, she already does. She already does. Did you see her recent largest donation by single person to London food pantries? I didn't see that. That's amazing. Same token though, okay? She's a billionaire, so that's not enough. Like it's almost like we shouldn't even be like, great job, you donated 10 million. If you have enough money to be a billionaire, it's not enough. For her, that's like 1 cent. Billionaires shouldn't be allowed. We stand by it. Shouldn't be allowed. Like, I'm not saying that's not good. She seems to do a lot of good things with money and has donated a lot of money. But she's still a billionaire. Just like me, yeah. A billionaire. Known billionaire. True story. Is she paying her taxes? I imagine she's paying her taxes. A great move of Nvidia and Taylor Swift holding up the US economy. The Nvidia stuff's gonna be very interesting to watch if things fail. If AI fails and does not pay off. Because like the way I see it is just the current NFT shift is a lot of people shilling things that we can already do in game development and like trying to push it like it's the next big thing. They're just trying to make AI work where NFTs didn't work. Don't know if it will. Who knows? But if it doesn't, that crash is going to be rough. Thank you, Connor B. Howard. There's a translation of the Bible that talks about if you give less than 1% of your shit to poor people, you get a special shrink cheat that gets you through needle eye test on your way to Narnia. Oh, shit. Have I ever given my fans a nickname? Yeah, we call them Chattazards instead of Charizards. They are Chattazards. She gets it back, writes off on tax. Okay, this is another hot take I have. I'm sorry, I have so many opinions. Again, I know. Yes, if you donate money to charity, it's a tax write-off. That doesn't give you that money. It just means that you're basically like choosing what money your taxes would go towards. That money was going to be taxed anyway. You don't get that money back. People talk about it as though like donating a bunch of money to charity, a thing I do all year, every year. People talk about it as though they think it's so that I will pay less taxes. It's the same money. It's basically you're just choosing to spend your tax money on charity instead of just giving it to the government to let the government do whatever they want with it. You don't get the money back. Right? You understand what I'm saying? It, like, you still lose all the money. So tax write-offs, people like act like it's like it doesn't count as a charitable donation. It totally does. Because you don't gain from it. You don't get anything. It's not a cheat code. It's just you are choosing where your taxes go. And I would highly recommend everybody does that. What sucks is when the charity is a scam because it muddies the waters for legit charities. Man, look, I still raise money for charity. I'm going to continue to do so. I'm feeling real burned on charities recently. The amount of soliciting I get and like people emailing me and asking me to raise money. I'm feeling very, I mean, obviously after completion of stuff, but just in general, feeling very skeptical of a lot of charities. And if you donate the money to yourself like Trump does, that's a good question. I don't know what that means. Just makes it so you pay a little less in taxes, but not by much. It's not that though. You don't pay less. I mean, yes, you pay less in taxes, but it's just you're still spending the same amount. Because that money just would have gone to taxes, but instead is going to charity. You don't get the money back. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I know there's not enough scrutiny for charity mishandling, fraud / mismanagement. I've done a lot of charity work, and like I said, some of them, like I got an email the other day that's a publisher is doing a charity thing, and they asked me to be involved, and they were like, "Oh, you'll play this game and raise money for charity," and it was really just them finding a way to make people play their new game without having to pay them. I don't give a shit about the charity. And like I just get so many fucking emails. I will say, I've really liked working with Red Cross. If I raise money for Red Cross, I will contact them directly and say, "Hey, can you guarantee me this money is going to this thing?" And they'll actually respond and be like, "Yes, this money will go towards this particular thing." Like I think they've had controversies in other countries, but I have liked working with the Red Cross in the US. Try to do a lot of research before I choose a charity to donate to. Yeah, I'm doing certainly more of that now, but even then, some of them are just spending money on stupid shit. Like it's brutal. I also like Movember. I think St. Jude's is great. Doctors Without Borders is good. But yeah, it's hard. There's a lot of them. And a lot of them are stupid. Yeah, I feel super positively about Movember. I've never gave money them places. I mean, you don't have to. So I think I like Trevor Project, but to be honest, I haven't actually vetted them either. Like I've raised money for them a number of times, and again, I've certainly learned a lesson in the last year that I need to vet charities harder. I think I just stupidly assume everybody has good intentions. Especially charities, you know? But I haven't actually researched them. I assume they're good, but you know. How much of charity do you think is genuine that goes to the cause intended versus charities with high extreme overhead or just for feeling good and showing face? A lot of greedy people exist in the world. I couldn't give you like a how much or a percentage, but a lot of greedy people exist in the world. And I think charity is like if you run a charity and you're a CEO and you just pay yourself $300,000 a year, it seems like a very easy way to take that money. So it is, I mean, the church does that. If you can get a religion, that's tax-free fucking constant donations. A lot of greedy people exist in the world. I feel like more people are greedy than not. Maybe that's like especially in America. I feel like people are really like, I'm gonna be a millionaire one day. Everyone thinks they're gonna be rich. So I would think that a lot of those greedy people probably gravitate towards starting charities. Also true, nonprofit doesn't mean nobody gets paid. That's also a thing that I disagree with. Like I've seen people be critical of friends who have Patreons. And the criticism will be like, "Oh, you bought that shirt? That was $100. That's what my Patreon money is going towards." Patreon isn't mine is, but most Patreons aren't non-profit. Like the part of the Patreon is not just that you're paying them for the gear or for the content they make. You are paying them salaries so they can make that content. Like mine is explicitly intended to all the money goes back into shit. I haven't even made back the money that I lost on videos and abroad. But like most Patreons aren't, you're not just paying them to buy some cameras and record. You're paying them to sustain the ability to make that content. So yeah, you're giving them a salary. And part of salaries is they're allowed to buy new shirts with it. It's not non-profit. Unless it says it is. Just start a Patreon to buy new Crocs. Listen, Joe's too silly. If you start a Patreon to buy Crocs, I will back you right now. America is one big race to the bottom economically. It's cultural zero something, and it's a huge problem. Bro, it's real bad. It's real bad out here. Quick question, do your subs still go to charities or does it help to support you? It's a little bit of both. So obviously I pay my mods, which most people don't, which I'm probably behind on. Sorry mods, I've not been streaming very much. It's not all to charity anymore. I mean, it never was 100%, but it was mostly because I couldn't do all of it because of taxes. But I'm keeping more of it now than I have before with the intention of supporting my family, which I've said a few times, obviously. It's not a thing I hid, but I still do technically count Twitch income as stuff that I am donating. So like I donated a bunch of money to Game on Cancer for the Scale Up stream. But it's like, it's split basically. But yeah, as soon as I stopped doing that, always I did say that. And it's just that I have to. Ideally, again, in the future, I can go back to all of it being towards charity. Do I pay Banjo in treats? Yes. Unironically, yes. Sometimes I know he wants to go for a walk and I don't think I can take him. And so he will get treats until I can take him to buy him over. So yes, I trick Banjo in treats. I do that, yeah. I'm reporting the treats to the IRS. No, I am not. Thank you, Vodius. 99. Treat fraud. I mean, I do genuinely bribe him. Sometimes I know, because you have to walk a dog like him twice a day. And sometimes if I'm like, I have too much shit to do in a day or whatever, and I'm busy, I will give him treats to tide him over until I can take him. Because otherwise he will bark at my face. He never got in the pool, no. I really did try, but he wasn't having it. How would you feel if your mods unionized? I'd be proud of them. I'd be very proud of my mods, who I think do great work. And again, who I probably haven't paid in a minute because I haven't really been streaming. But I'd be like, you go, gamers. You go. Thank you, yeah, right? I appreciate that. I do want to do another merch run soon. Obviously, every merch run I've done has been for charity. And I've been thinking about, like, doing, like, a brand merch run thing. But all of the brands or, like, merch companies that everyone I know has worked with have gone under. So like we still do play, watch, listen stuff that I don't advertise very well, but that still is on Redbubble. But I wanted to do like, not because like I've done merch for boxing and I've done merch for the Australian wildfires. They were both very Australian themed actually. And I'd like to do like more of a brand. Like Ethan has with Sweet Boy, Soft Boy, or Chris Melberger, if you know him, does Neat Dude, like a brand of some kind for, but I just don't know where to start on it. I already know what kind of designs I would want, starting with t-shirts. But I just, yeah, there's not a lot of merch companies that are really trustworthy, especially after I kind of got screwed over last time, so. They took a lot of money, and I was really sad about it. What would I call it? I have plans. Can't tell you that yet, but I just got to figure out how to do it. Banjo shirts have been planned for a minute too, but I haven't done it because of this. I'll probably like have Patreon help with this kind of stuff. That seems like a reward to Patreon thing, but I did get copies of the Banjo emote that are high enough res for me to put them on shirts. But then all the merch companies fell apart, so I just don't know how to... Like, I just, like, don't know how to do it. You know what I mean? I just don't know what to do. Plans for new merch for Banjo and also a new show like Play, Watch, Listen. Well, there's been a new podcast in planning for a while that will primarily be me, Ravel, and Jacob, featuring many a friend. I bought a bunch of gear for it. Omar is tentatively going to help us produce it. Thinking Alanah and Friends is what it's going to be called. It's just that Ravel's not here right now, so. And I have a lot of tumultuous shit coming up this year. Like, I'm going to have to go home at some point to be with my family and be there for a funeral. And that sucks. But that could happen really at any minute now. So it doesn't feel like the right time to start that venture. But I have bought all the gear and I've got Omar to help me set up stuff. Just kind of waiting until my life is a little less of a question mark. So, but that's the plan. And we will. Yeah, I'm not sure about schedule yet or anything either. I don't know. I just don't know. Life is very uncertain. I will probably do it monthly, probably on the IRL channel, but like after moving Play, Watch, Listen off, I'm like, I don't know, should it be on a separate channel? Because Idiots and Abroad did well on my IRL channel because it's the same audience. I don't know, dude. Organizing YouTube channels is confusing. It is what it is. My chronic fatigue, how the hell do you manage all of this still? So the chronic fatigue shows up in bouts. It's not constant. And when it is present, yeah, I just can't really do anything. So like if you see me drop off of streaming for a few weeks, it's because of CFS. If I stop making YouTube videos, I just didn't make them for a month, it's because I have CFS. Like it's just that I can't do stuff anymore. But it isn't constant. I would say that I have like 6 weeks of a year that are like really debilitating. And all I can do is my day job. And even then, it's hard, but I will always get everything done. I'm very stubborn about that. But yeah, it's not with me constantly, where it is for some other people. Thank you, Valgutio. Valgutio? Smoking weed helps? It definitely would not help. I definitely wouldn't fucking help. Thank you, Craig. I appreciate that. Thank you. Imagine CFS with those migraines. How did you manage? Well, so I've had the CFS like my whole life. That's why like I always talk about it. Like my family is like really cool with it. My family knows that I'm like that and knows to plan around me being like that. Like if my mom is here or my dad, my family is like, we know that Alanah needs way more sleep than everybody else does, or she will pass out or like die. It's not actually die, but it's just like collapse, faint, whatever. My family's like really, really good about it. But yeah, I said on Instagram today that I've definitely had friends in my adult life who've not been that way about it because it's just like it's an invisible illness, so people like don't really see it, and so they just think you're just. Definitely everyone I've ever dated has found it very frustrating. I would say it is my worst quality as a partner is CFS. Sometimes I'm just fucking asleep for 2 weeks and I can't do shit and you'll barely talk to me because I'm just asleep. And everyone I've ever dated has hated it. But has at least like maybe understood it less than my family does, but at least like tried to understand it. But I've definitely had friends who don't get it at all. But yeah, thankfully I, in the grand scheme of things, have it like very light. Like it's much worse for other people than it is for me, I think. I do not have sleep apnea. I have CFS. The weed video, I just have to get Jacob to edit it and then it will be up. Because now the PC is back, we have access to the files. So it'll be up on the IRL channel probably sometime this month. And I fucking hated it. I did not like it at all. My. What time is it there? It's 12:14 a.m. I do not get anxiety. No, I'm not at all an anxious person. Not even a little bit. Was it my dope wall PC that died? Yes, but the PC is good now. It's fine. It was with Ethan, yes. Fucking fireworks, dude. It's so shitty. I hate it so much. People just let off fireworks constantly around the 4th of July. Do I get road rage? No, I don't get rage at all. Again, my emotions are like hyper-regulated, so I get no anxiety and I get no road rage. It's very difficult to make me mad. The criticism I get that I always agree with is people on the internet sometimes call me monotonous. I'm always like, you right. People will sometimes say they find me really boring. I'm like, I don't disagree with you, bro. I'm aware I'm very low-key. I don't find me interesting either. I don't know why any of you are ever here, to be honest. Doesn't make any sense to me. So no, I do not get road rage or really angry about anything. How often do I get annoyed? Also pretty rarely. I get stressed though. I get overwhelmed with the amount of shit I have to do vaguely regularly. Like every month something will happen. As your CFS happened at work, what do you do? Yeah, so CFS is like extreme exhaustion. Like it would I would act like somebody who hasn't slept for a week and coffee has no impact. So like CFS was ever present while I was at Funhouse and I had trouble with it a lot. But like you'll see a lot of those videos. Even now, people complain about how often I yawn in content. Like, why does she seem so bored? Why does she seem so uninterested? In Funhouse videos, there was a lot of Alanah always just seems so tired or seems like she just woke up. And it's just, that's my CFS happening at work. That's how it is sometimes. But it definitely happened a lot. You said you were a horse girl in a Funhouse video? I was a horse girl, yeah. I sure was. I loved them ponies back in the day. Am I actually tired or just have symptoms of being tired? No, I'm actually tired. Most weekends, I will sleep for 16 hours a day. I need naps most days. Again, when the CFS is bad. It's like middling right now. I did faint yesterday. I fainted and I hurt my hip. You wish you could take naps? Come on, bro. It's too much. It's too much. I wish I didn't need naps. I had a friend come visit me on Thursday and they showed up and I was like, again, they came to visit me and I was like, I'm sorry, I have to nap. And so I think I went to nap for like 45 minutes before spending time with them. The CFS makes me a bad friend and partner and I'm aware of it. I just have to sleep a lot. I do know Ivana, though I thought she left. Did she not leave? I might be wrong. I thought she left. It's a big team, though. There's a lot of people at SMS that I don't know, but I really thought that she... Yeah, she did leave. What's the longest I've slept for? Dude. Don't even talk to me about sleeping. Am I good in bed? Yeah. I could sleep for 30 hours, probably. Like, I could sleep for fucking ages. It is the hardest thing about having CFS. I've spoken to other people about it who have it. Again, mine's very light and very chill in the grand scheme of things. Is that it just makes you hate yourself. You just get really angry about it and there's fuck all you can do. Like, you just go, why I'm wasting my fucking life? And it's really hard for you to not fall into that, like, self-loathing. So, definitely a thing. Most of us who watch you have just been around and always thought you had interesting insight. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm sorry I'm so boring. I know how I sound. Thank you, EXT Jerry. My asthma's been basically, thank you. You just asked me about health, you guys. Again, sorry, this is probably also really boring. My asthma's been basically non-existent at my current weight. I get it if I run still, but I've been really good. My asthma is so directly tied to how much weight I have, how much excess body fat I have. Do you think part of what drives your ambition is ambient sense of less time or something? 100%, yeah. I feel like I'm overworking all of the time to make up for all the time I have to sleep. Thank you, Elisa. That's very nice of you. Yeah, initially some of the Funhouse audience hated me because I'm so low-key that I just seem like I'm bored or uninterested. I'm not, though. I find a lot of things very interesting. But then they came around to it, and now people say I miss the good old days and include me in it. Banjo gets it? You know what? He does. So obviously for a really long time when you'll be able to find videos of me saying this, I didn't want to get a dog because I was too worried about my health issues. I was having asthma attacks a lot, and my CFS was fucking terrible while I was at Funhouse. I had a lot of trouble. And I was like, I can't get a dog. There's no way I can look after a dog. I just can't do that. Banjo is such a good boy. If that I need to sleep for 20 hours, he will wait. And it sucks, obviously. And if I know that's going to happen, I'll find some other means to help. But he'll wait. He won't bark at me. He won't make me get out of bed. He'll just sleep with me. And a lot of dogs will like bark at your face or whatever. Whoa, thank you so much. To Prodro DLC, thank you. Thank you, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And MK Nutstrub, thank you guys. I really appreciate that. Thank you both so much. I will buy Banjo treats from you. Thank you. Yeah, you know, some dogs will like bark at you to make you get up or whatever. They'll just bark at your face until you get out of bed or demand to go for a walk. Banjo does not do that. He might even know. He might even get it. He might even be like, you're sick. I understand the vibe. This is probably a TMI, but one very cute thing about Banjo is if I have my period, which I had like years where I didn't at all that are directly related to these health issues. But if I do, he's so sweet. He cuddles me. He will lay with his head on my stomach. He's so like aware of it. And I guess I get really bad cramps the first like 2 days. And he will straight up cuddle up. He will follow me everywhere. He will cuddle up to me. Like he fucking knows. He's like, got it. There's something wrong. I will cuddle you. And I feel like he might even be the same with the CFS, where he's like, I understand you can't get up right now. No worries. As long as I get my walk at some point. And like he just kind of waits until I can, and sometimes we'll go slower or whatever. But he's a really good boy. So yes, he does get it. Some dogs don't though. Dogs are super aware of a lot of things we don't realize. Yeah, I had a pit bull when I was a kid. Her name was Savella, which I always felt like was the smartest game I'd ever played. It was my family's names, which is Susan, my sister named Sarah, Alanah, and Vince is my dad's name, combined with Vela, who was a character in Jet Force Gemini. So her name was Savella. And I was really like, I managed to fucking slip a video game character's name on there. None of you motherfuckers realized. I thought I was so cool for doing that. But if you ever cried, that dog would like come curl on your lap and lick the tears off your face and just stare at you and wag her tail until you stop crying. It was so sweet. And she was a pit bull. People are so afraid of them, but she's a really sweet girl. Very sweet little lady. Do I like cats at least a little bit? I am really, really allergic to cats. Really, really, really allergic to cats. So I don't fuck with cats. They always want to get up on my shit though. I feel like they know. They're like, you're avoiding me, bitch. Not on my watch. Pit bulls get a bad rap, but they're super sweet. All dogs are super sweet, you know? They just need the right person. Just need the right person. Cats are just very challenge accepted when someone's trying to keep them. Yeah, they'll follow me around. Genuinely just like follow me around because I have trouble being in the same room as a cat if their fluff comes off of them and I like have to breathe it. But I also, if a person has a cat, if I sit on anything the cat has previously sat on, I don't just have to touch them. Like if I'm on a couch that a cat has recently sat on, I will have a huge allergic reaction. So I have to just like, if a house has a cat, sort of just stand awkwardly and just eventually hope I don't breathe in too much fucking dander or whatever. Cats really fuck me up. Do I have a favorite breed of dog? I love Rottweilers. Love Rottweilers. Captain Chunk, I've been low-key scared of dogs due to Father's Day weekend. A family friend's dog bit my face and ripped my nose out. I'm so sorry. Obviously, that does happen. Even nice dogs can do that. If you scare them, there's a million reasons an animal can be an animal. I'm so sorry. I hope you're okay. That is horrific and awful, and you are valid to be afraid of dogs. It can happen, obviously. Would an N95 mask help? I don't know, you know. I think that, like, I'll still get an allergic reaction to cats if I touch them, right? So, like, as an example of how extreme my cat allergy is if a dog has recently licked a cat and then licks me, I will be covered in hives. So it's not just breathing related. Like, I can tell if a dog lives with a cat because if I pat that dog, I will end up having an allergic reaction to it. And for a while, we thought I was also allergic to dogs, but it's not. It's just that I will have an allergic reaction to a dog that hangs out with cats too much. It sucks. I inherited my nan's Bengal. Sadly, she passed by falling in the garden. I found her and she was cuddled up to her and had blood on him. It's been 2 years now and he finally saved my life. I'm so sorry. That's so sweet, though. I'm so sorry. That's very sweet. Thank you, Cola Coaster. It's not just the fur. Yeah, I guess it must not be. I've never had it tested. I'm just not fucking allergic to cats. Very allergic. Have you met any hypoallergenic cats? Only one, and I was still very hesitant. You have 2 dogs and you're allergic to them? That's crazy, dude. Probably the saliva of cats? It might be, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. What's my dream car? A Pagani Zonda. This being a weekday, when will you start work tomorrow? I start work usually at 9 a.m. or so. I've heard that before, Bushman. The Bengal cats are like dogs and are very cute. Damn, sorted state. My allergies don't last a week. They last like a day, not a week. That's brutal. Yeah, I'd be devastated if I was allergic to dogs. My whole life would be so different. What is point of life if not dog? What do without dog? I've had dogs my whole life. They're such good boys. You know what I mean? And girls, obviously. I've actually mostly had female dogs. I keep seeing people on my following page are either playing Chained Together, which does seem like a thing that I should convince, like, Jacob and Bruce and Rahul to play. Is it 4-player? I don't know. And the other one is Still Wakes the Deep. Is that one Bruce was playing the other day? Still... don't fall. Don't fall, don't fall. Still Wakes the Deep. It's a Xbox Game Pass game? Oh, it's made by Chinese Room. I didn't know that. Yeah, that is the one Bruce was playing the other day. I should do both. Just, yeah, sorry. I obviously haven't been streaming very much. Related, everybody. We still have a Bioshock Collector's Edition to give away. If you would like one. And we technically need 300 more subs to reach plus eligibility for July. Though, isn't today the first day of July? Second day. Now, we're off to a great start. Any chance I'll see you in a Mike Flanagan project? I don't know. I have not played Balatro. I feel like it's something I'd probably get pretty addicted to. You can guess what game is in the Bioshock case. Can you win it? No. No. No, we will not be doing that. No. Absolutely not. Nice try, though. But no. It's been 6 years since you've been able to live with a dog or cat. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Roman Lofts, for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Gigi. Too easy. Thank you. Appreciate you. It did make a difference to the July Plus eligibility. I remain low-key addicted to Marvel Snap and Vampire Survivors. I have not played Marvel Snap because I have mobile game stigma. I love Vampire Survivors though. That shit is good. Where the sub goal at? It's technically just like on the side on Twitch. The July Plus eligibility. I don't know if it shows up if you're on mobile though. Marvel Snap is on PC? Oh, there you go. It was mobile first, was it not? I don't know. In my head, it's a mobile game. I've decided it is a mobile game, and thus I don't want to touch it for some reason. Oh, Vampire Survivors is indeed really fun. Ooh, I just saw the question from Krina. Does your head spin when having CFS? Yes, it does. Today, like I said, I fainted yesterday, and today, there was a contractor here, and I stood up and tried to say something to him, and just couldn't. I just sort of like do this thing where I fucking stare until I stopped spinning, and he was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. It happens sometimes." And I just have to like wait for like 20 seconds before I can communicate. Rahul makes fun of me for it every time. Like, oh, there she goes. And I'm just sort of there like, because I can't do anything. What are your thoughts on the new Nintendo Switch rumors? About fucking time. Those are my thoughts. About goddamn time, Nintendo. Cancel me. I don't care. Your hardware's old. Step up. About goddamn time. Thank you, Cardin. Is it common with CFS to have the spinnies? Sort of. It's like listed as a symptom, but it's not like overly common. He's not shedding that much right now, actually. No, he sheds in between seasons. So he was shedding a lot in like April. Right now he's okay because his undercoat's already gone. He sheds twice a year excessively, and he's okay right now. Used to get vertigo, and I don't wish that on anyone. You can get vertigo even when you're like laying down, though, right? Like, you know, if you're drunk and the world is spinning, but vertigo's sober. That does sound awful. Can't even imagine. You've got acrophobia. What's that? Acrophobia. Acrophobia. Oh, that's fear of heights. Gotcha. I have like moderate fear of heights. Like, I'm okay unless I'm really, really high. But that's normal, right? Just everyone feels that way. It's like I feel like I have a normal fear of heights, a usual fear of heights. I have an irrational fear of spiders. I have a very normal fear of. I have a normal level of anxiety. I'm not overly anxious about anything. Like, I think we're all probably a little afraid of heights. A fear of dropping stuff from heights. That's interesting. Rahul has, I forget the term, but he's afraid of like things that are under the ocean. Like a sunken ship really bothers him. Which I think is fucking cool. Love a sunken ship. Sick. Thank you, Rinka. Thalassalophobia, that sounds right, yeah. It is different to a fear of ocean itself, yeah. It's like a fear of sunken objects specifically. He did play a little bit of Day the Diver. Oh, is he afraid of spiders? How do you think I got to be afraid of them? You wouldn't understand the shit I've seen. You wouldn't understand the shit I grew up with. That's crazy. Thank you, SaxM13. Ari, the coming out video. Is demisexual a more technical semantic distinction for someone who's generally pan? Your description of your experience with it got me questioning my knowledge of how basic attraction works with the average person, assuming falling in love is a delayed process with demisexuals. No. So you can be straight and demisexual. It doesn't relate to being pan. Like, you can be demi and still prefer just women. And it doesn't really mean there's a delay on falling in love. It just means you don't want to be intimate with someone you can't be sexually attracted to someone you don't have a relationship with. which apparently, like, technically is under the ace banner. I don't feel like ace fits me at all, though. Because when I'm in a relationship, you know what I'm saying? It's just when I'm not. I'm like, yeah, don't touch me. Because I had someone be like, you only have sex in relationships then because you feel pressured to. No. That's definitely not true. They gotta fight me off with a stick. Once the relationship is there. I'm like, bitch, not now. But ace is not right. But it's technically under that banner. So. I just don't want to have sex with a stranger. That's it, really. I have a white German Shepherd and she sheds between seasons. Yeah, I think it's pretty normal for German Shepherds and Huskies to... Any dog with an undercoat, right, would shed between seasons. In another life, I'm sure it was better. 100% straight dummy, married for over 10 years. Very hard for other guys to understand. Yeah, I also had people be like, that's just women, bro. That all girls are like that, bro. That is not true. That makes me just think these people don't have female friends. And like, or people like think it's to do with morals or values. It's not. It's a sexual preference for sure. But yeah, that the comment section's making me think that there are more men who are demi than I realized, which is cool. It's definitely like a weird thing where a bunch of dudes just think women don't get horny. Like, again, you only think that if you don't have female friends. You're crazy. You're crazy. It's just American pop culture. Bitches be crazy. That's all I'm saying. Bitches be crazy. Thanks, Cam F3. Appreciate that. Thanks so much. Women get horny for sure, bro. It's true. For sure they do. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, maybe it's like movie culture that makes people think that... Because like there's a thing, right, where people talk about women who participate in hookup culture not having self-esteem. That's never made sense to me. They could just like sex. What's self-esteem got to do with it? It doesn't mean that they feel bad about themselves. They just like having sex. It doesn't relate to how they feel about themselves. They just trying to have sex. You know? It's a weird one. She just doesn't respect herself. She's just putting out. No, she just wants to fuck something. Women can do that too. It's not doesn't mean there's nothing other than she's biologically human and wants to fuck something. You know what I mean? You don't have to make it about morals. And I say that as somebody who doesn't do that. I get it. I get why they do. Go for it. Have fun. Game of Go. Do whatever you want. Have a good time. Culture is indeed insane about sex. That is true. Top to bottom. Should be crazy. Everybody's crazy. I don't know, man. It's a weird one. She doesn't respect, she's letting people access to her body. She doesn't respect herself. It's not about, she just wants to fuck someone. Because she enjoys the act of it. It has nothing to do with access. I don't know, it's fucking stupid. Definitely make sure they're over 18. I think that was like maybe the funniest part of the Dr. Disrespect discourse in my own comments section. Was someone being like, well, how was he supposed to know that she was over 18? Genuinely, if you're about to dirty text somebody that you haven't met, ask them. Just ask him. I for sure think he knew. We don't know, but I think he knew because if he didn't, he would have put that in the post. But you just fucking ask. People are like, oh, what? I'm just supposed to ask everybody now if they're underage before I send them illicit messages? Yep. Yes, you are. It's not that difficult. There's nothing weird about it. Just fucking ask. It's not It's not a huge leap. Like, just go out there. Are you over 18? Send it off. Great. You can ask for ID if you want. I'm not even against that. But being like, what? What, I'm just supposed to ask everybody how old they are? Yeah. Yeah. Before you tell them that you're trying to fuck them? Yeah. Yep. Yep. You figured it out. You've got it. Like, that's it. We figured it out. Not difficult to do at all. Some of the fucking comments on that video are crazy, y'all. Like, some of the defenses are so fucking nuts. I love this comment. Hang on, let me pull this up. This one. These are really funny. Dr. Disrespect, I did it. Half of men online proof. It's really, really funny. I guess I'd have to go into the replies to find some of them. But like, some of them, like, he was just talking. They were just talking. He said he didn't. He said he fucking did. I'm losing my mind. It's nuts. He admitted it, bro. What are you talking about? Sure it was better in another life. I also, like, just had people come at me for the weirdest shit, dude. Oh my god. It's been, again, I'm sure this happens all the time, and that people argue with me on the internet all the time, and I just don't look at it. But it's so funny, this string of replies where it looks like it's just me because motherfuckers deleted their comments. Look at this. It's so funny. But yeah, I know that I am currently reading them because I'm content with arguing with people, and that is on me. Then I should probably stop, but I feel like right now it's making me feel better, and so who cares? I love debating. I really do. It doesn't upset me in any way. I was on the debate team in high school, and I just let it go, and everything's cool, and it feels better. Again, I know I shouldn't, but yeah. Yeah, if it were emotionally affecting me, it would be different, right? It's like the reason I'm reading the comments right now is because I'm already emotionally affected. And it's like, I guess it's a distraction. Like, if I'm already miserable, it's not like I'm not depressed or anything. I'm not like 100% miserable. I'm just fucking sad. I'm just sad. And it's a very sad situation. And whenever I think too hard about it, I get really sad. And so sometimes you just want to zone out and read some stupid bullshit and tell some stupid bitches that they're really stupid. And you just feel a little bit better for a minute. That's it. I'm not encouraging anybody to do this. And again, I'm not going out of my way. Like, I'm not doing the thing that I think is what I'm doing is not good and you shouldn't do it. But I'm not starting arguments with randoms. I'm just arguing with the randoms that are starting arguments with me. I'm not like going out and shit talking like half the people that are approaching me are doing, right? I'm just arguing back. And I feel like it helps. Internet 101, never feed the trolls. It doesn't work. Doesn't work. That's not true. The don't feed the trolls thing, I'm just so sure that so many parts of the stream are gonna get clipped. The amount with which people are obsessed with me is so disproportionate to the stuff I do. Like, my following's so small. My videos get so few views for the amount of attention that I get for everything that I do. I don't think you understand just how fucking often people have opinions on everything I do. It's all over Twitter anytime I make any new video. It's constant. Very, very interested. And I've been feeding the trolls this past week where I'm responding to them. Past couple of weeks. But it doesn't really make any difference. It's the same volume of shit talking. Like, they might engage like a little bit more with me directly, but like, you know, I go years without actually addressing any of that. And they still do it the same amount. They don't care. They're still talking the same amount of shit. So it's like, don't feed the trolls doesn't work. My biggest argument for feeding the trolls is sometimes it feels good. That's it. Is like sometimes like if I get 1,000 hate comments a day or whatever, it's probably not that many, but like whatever. And once a month, which is probably about the volume I do, I respond to one of them or I call one of them out. That's probably what I normally do. Sometimes you just see so many and you just want to be like, fuck off, idiot. And that's it. Just if it feels good, do it. Like I don't buy you shouldn't respond to them. I've always found that to be dumb. Like if you want to occasionally tell somebody to fuck off after getting however many shitty comments over however long, do it. They're gonna do it anyway. They're gonna talk shit anyway. Like there's also nothing I can do about it. Like this applies to most content creators. It's certainly not just me. But again, it's usually just people who are a lot bigger than I am. People are going to be mad because they want to be mad at you. So what you do or say has zero impact on them being mad. I had this conversation with XQC, of all people, where I was like, we were talking about social media shit, and I'm pretty sure that dude's done a bunch of cancelable shit. I don't know. I'm like not up to date on him at all. I have no idea. Ignorant. And I said, I won't read his side of the conversation, but I was just like, people, literally no matter what you do, people will find a way to be mad about it. Literally no matter what. So sometimes you just kind of have to do whatever the fuck you think is right. You're like, I can't cater everything to everyone being mad at me because they will find a way to be mad at whatever social media figure however they can. So you just got to just do whatever the fuck you want, really. Because there's nothing else you can do. For example, stream titles. Curious, when you post normal and casual bikini photos of you look very lovely, thanks. What's the ratio of nice comments to bad comments? I don't read them. I always lose followers if I post a photo with any level of cleavage. Like, I think I lost 1,000 for that bikini photo. But I would guess they're like 99.9% nice, probably. But I don't read them all, so I don't know. But like, that's certainly one is like, people will find ways to sexualize me wearing this. Like, it doesn't matter what they'll invent some like, oh, she's doing it to cover up her tits. Then they just think about it. They go, ooh. I've been wearing singlets in videos recently because it's been really fucking hot. And I got a DM from somebody being like, stop trying to use the mic to hide your cleavage every 2 seconds. It's really annoying to watch. Not a thing I ever thought about. I've not done that in any video. I've not been like, make sure I must place the cleavage in the middle. And they just like invent shit to be mad about. So you can't, it was a weird one to read because I was like, I didn't even think about that for a second. You're annoyed about watching me do something I wasn't trying to do. Because you invented in your head that I was looking at it and I was insecure, I was thinking about it, and I wasn't at all, ever. I wasn't thinking about it. It's just, yeah, no matter what you do, people will be pissed off. So sometimes you just kind of got to you just stay true to yourself. That's it. You cannot please the social media crowd. You just have to do what you think is right. That's it. Parasocial aspect of social media has broken people's brains. I fully agree, actually. Not even in a like shit talking idiots on social media way. Like, just straight up, humans are not equipped. We do not have the knowledge to deal with this amount of contact with other people. We are not built to sustain or perceive this amount of feedback from strangers. Like, it's just, technology has outprogressed us so quickly that we have not even had the time to take a breath to culturally consider the impact of how fast social media has moved. We're like aware shit's probably bad and everyone fucking has anxiety now. And that's probably related. Like, we kind of know that, but like there hasn't even been a moment of like, what's happening? It just keeps running ahead of us. I think it's not just like parasocial shit on the internet is giving people brain rot. Like, it's straight up, mankind was not ever built to withstand this amount of communication, this amount of attention, this amount of online validation, this amount of opinions, this it's just what it's progressed so much faster than us. We don't know what the fuck we're doing. It's way too fast. We are definitely not equipped to have any of this at any one time. And it's certainly like more extreme for a content creator, but it's still anyone who just spends too much time on Twitter. You're going to just like get all this fucking feedback that like doesn't really exist in the real world. The community is kind of broken, I think. I think the original idea was simply blocking and muting them discourages them from even trying because engaging with them makes them think they can get to you at all. That is also not true. Blocking and muting, especially blocking though, counts as engagement. And they'll also just do it anyway. They really will just do it anyway. Like, I think probably a lot of the dudes who come for me, which again, like I could show you the amount of them, but I don't really want to have a stream where I just show you a bunch of, like, it's so many. Like, there are thousands of Twitter accounts who talk about me all the time who aren't following me. Like, I'm always like, wow, a lot of you motherfuckers really know who I am. It's a lot. They aren't, I think a lot of them would almost prefer I don't reply because they're talking about me as like a brand commodity. And as soon as I reply and I go, that's wrong, then they go, yeah, what? They almost would prefer I didn't engage. Some of them will shut up when I do. Because then suddenly they have to deal with the thing they're doing to me, you know? Humans wrote sci-fi about this for a century and then gained the tech to model the sci-fi stories in real life. Yeah, it's not great, dude. It's not great. How many look who blocked me screenshots do you see in a day before you realize that was the goal? Yeah. Yeah, a lot of them love it. I do not have a lot of people blocked on Twitter. How many is it now? Because, like, there's no point. Like, that's almost worse. Where would it be? Privacy and safety. Mute and block. Blocked accounts. Oh, it won't show me. But I mean, some of them are like... not what you'd think. Like this guy. It's just like the person who was on the top of my block list. I'm like, do I really want you to show you this? I mean, I don't think it would necessarily cause me harm. But maybe I don't want to show you that. Basically just like, I'll block the dudes who will like think we're in a relationship. You know what I mean? They can be getting blocked. Whoa, thank you so much, Prodro. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You've been so nice today. Thank you. For the 20 gifted subs. Appreciate you. That's so kind. Thank you, my friend. Welcome to all the people who got gifted subs. Now you have Banjo emotes. And you can skip the ad breaks. It is what it is. Got some internet boyfriends? I got a couple. There's this one dude that I've thought about making a video about before. Because I just don't want to give him the attention. It's one of, like, sometimes you have to, I weigh up who I'm going to talk about and who I'm not. And usually it's like, if I respond to them, a lot of the time it's because I think it's funny. A lot of the time. But I've thought about making a video about this dude because I get so many DMs about him. Like, I will read my Instagram DMs in the back of an Uber. That is when I read my Instagram DMs. That's Instagram DM reading time. Don't read them any other time. Only in the back of an Uber. And I get so many messages about this dude. That it's like almost every time I look. Who is definitely like unhealthily invested in me and very angry and very wrong. And I thought about making a video about my biggest hater. Actually, there are probably two of them who would fit that bill. But just everything he says is just not true at all. But people basically just warn me about him. Like, hey, this dude's really obsessed with you. You should do something about it. What am I supposed to do about it? There's nothing I can do about it. But, like, I don't want to give him the attention. He's not a content creator, for the record. He's just a commenter. I did think about it just to be like, this is the kind of person we're dealing with. This is fucking crazy. The amount of shit this dude has said that is just not true. And that people will feel the need to message me about it because he's like so persistent about it. It's a lot. Well, he won't know I'm talking about him, so. And then there is one guy who's a content creator, and then there's another guy who like was a stalker who I have a police report against. Who any video where someone else talks about me will be there in the comments. It's also very weird. Can't you just ban him? No. Because he's not talking to me. He's talking to other people about me. So no. Have I ever realized I had a parasocial relationship? When I was really young, had a crush on a YouTuber who I now know. Don't know, but I've met them. It's not like I'm acquainted with them. But I did have a pretty big crush on them. And I had now met them. But I don't know if I would call it a parasocial relationship. I was just... It probably was. Yeah, it probably was. He's very gay. Very gay. That's all I'll say, because I wouldn't want to embarrass that person. It was Elmo. You figured it out. And like, I was like 12. I didn't know he was gay. I don't know what was going on. I just thought he was really cute. And I think that counts as parasocial, but I was also, you know, a child. Otherwise, no. I can definitely like... I don't know. Most of my friends are content creators. It's a little weird. Like, there'll always be someone I kind of know. You know what I mean? The day I asked how the world was doing on Twitter. What a question. What a question. What a time. What do you think of the unban requests that streamers do? I feel like on one hand, the streamer gets to monetize their haters, which is validating. On the other hand, it glorifies and incentivizes people to pay badly to get featured. I'm pro. I'm totally pro it. People, again, when you're a big content creator, like the only person I've seen do that is Pokimane. Pokimane has so many followers that I feel like it incentivizes people to act poorly. So many people act poorly towards her regardless. Again, her input is so minimal that why should she not at least find an upside in it? You know, like what she does is so irrelevant to how mad people are at her that I just feel like it's putting more blame on the person who's being harassed. Like, let people react to shitheads how they want. And again, they're always going to be there. If it's going to happen, might as well profit. It's not even profit, like sure profit, but if it's going to happen, might as well enjoy making fun of it, you know? Did I get a crush on Astarion playing BG3? Fun fact, as much as I love Neil Newbin and I dressed up as Astarion because of my hair, really, I don't like him as a character. Crazy, I know. Like, I love the performance and I love the writing, but I don't like him. Having a huge crush on Kate Beckinsale is a parasocial relationship. Is having a crush on a celebrity a parasocial relationship? I mean, I never commented anything to this YouTuber that I had a crush on. And I knew that we didn't know each other. I don't know. Is it parasocial? A crush is parasocial? I really don't know. He's not shit. I just think he's a dick. We would not get along, I don't think. I love Shadowheart. Love me some Shadowheart. 100%. How come you aren't a fan of Aerith? I've never said I'm not a fan of Aerith, okay? I just, again, very controversially, didn't even know people were mad at me for this one either until it made its way into a separate comment section. I just think she's very girly. And if you are trying to bang Aerith, just ask how old she is first. Is all I'm trying to say. I just think if you choose Aerith over Tifa, I would like to see your recent searches. That's all I'm saying. She really acts like a teenage girl, okay? It's just a bit weird. I would like to see, did you ask her age? You should ask to see her ID. That's all I'm saying. I don't care that she's actually 22. The fetish exists for a reason. She just seems way too young to me. That's all. I definitely like her as a character. I just think that if you're trying to bang Aerith, you know, young girl vibes. Young girl vibes. Oh, yo, everybody from Jordan Stream. Hi. How are you all? Couple of fun Jordan facts, everybody. He does super cool ghost like live stream videos of haunted places. One, we're gonna do one at some point, I swear. Two, I had an argument with Jarvis where I was overly heated because he called you Datoon, and I said, Datoon? That's not how you pronounce that. And he was like, it's not that weird. And I was way too aggressive with him about pronouncing it incorrectly. I was like, it's clearly D-Tune. What are you talking about? And he was like, it's not that different. And I was like, you shut your fucking... I went way too hard on that. Third is I asked Ethan if he had July 4th plans. And he said, yeah, I'm going to Jordan's party. And I said, no, you're not. That's not on the 4th. So Ethan and I have to figure out something else to do on the 4th, basically, is what's happened here. I'm gonna figure out some other option. Datoon. That's what I said. And Jarvis was like, it's not that different. And I was like, it's pretty different. Those are pronounced pretty differently, my guy. But I really went way too hard on him. Like, I made fun of him like he had said a completely different word, and it wasn't that different. Datoon. I like it. Jessie is super cute in the remake. I agree. Everybody who just rated, we were talking about many of my cancelable takes, but specifically that I just think if you like Aerith over Tifa, like you want to date Aerith over Tifa, I just think it's a little weird. I just think she seems very young and acts very young. And the way she dresses, and the cute little girl stuff. You know? That's all I'm saying. It is pretty judgmental of me, yeah. It is. She does act childish, yes. You know? She's very pretty and nice. I'm just saying. Just ask for the age first. Especially remake Aerith 100%. Thank you. But people have been really mad at me for it. I wonder if I could find that tweet, because I actually didn't read any of the quote tweets. Let's find my Aerith tweet and see how mad people are. Okay, you ready? Twitter advanced search. Which I use this feature all the time, by the way. I'm a big Twitter advanced search guy. Aerith. From account Alanah. And let's see how mad they are. I promise you people have been fucking livid at me, and I just never read any of it. Okay, I think this is it. I'm already loving this. This is so funny. Okay, here we go. Display capture. There we go. All right. Okay. I haven't read any responses to this. Okay, it has 231,000 views. I obviously replied to this one and then bounced. Didn't read any of the others. Really? So you've never seen a grown woman with a frame like Aerith? Is that really so unusual? I didn't see anything about a frame. You post engagements. Let's do it. That's fine. That's also fine. It's mostly just like weird little memes, but I think they're all saying that they're red flags. I don't like it. I don't like it. They're calling Cloud a red flag. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. How is there so much art for this? How is there so much art? Did they have this prepared? Lost a lot of respect for her. Let's be real here. I don't even remember tweeting that. Oh, look at them all. Look how many quote tweets there are. It just keeps going. So basically, I think what happened here was that I don't remember saying that. It was 4 years ago, and it was probably in the same context. I have no idea. Do I think she's annoying? I mean, like a little. I think the little girl thing is a little annoying. But that means that they searched this because of this tweet. They give me a useless contribution, I guess. It keeps going. Weird ass take. What the fuck is this? This is a conversation about it, I guess. You're allowed to have an opinion, but I hate how these influencers are joining a toxic campaign of boosting up one woman character while putting the other woman character down and calling people who prefer her red flags. What campaign are you talking about? This is so funny. Look, this is amazing. Hang on, where did that go? Yeah, we know you're jealous of Aerith. They think I'm jealous of her? Aerith acts like a child. I'm not about that. I've been saying it. I'm consistent. I simp for Aerith now, you kill me, and I said that again. It would be again, because she's a child. I stand by it. I'm just jealous of Aerith. Oh my god. Can we just stop pitting female characters against each other? They're not real people! They're not real! Nobody's being pitted against anybody! What are you talking about? They're not real women! That's so nuts. I love Tifa and Aerith. Yeah, all this for one sentence. That's what I'm saying, okay? You don't understand how much heat I get for fucking stupid shit on the internet. Blocked? What an obsessed, annoying individual. That's so funny. I'm gonna have to block her for this. Well, none of them blocked me, though, because I can still see their other tweets. So they said they would block me, but none of them blocked me. Look at it all! Well, thank you, BK. Thank you so much for the raid. I don't know how we're talking about. I talk shit about Aerith on the internet, and I got cancelled for it once, but I never. This is creepy. What do you mean creepy? It's unbecoming. I won't support any of their work. Unbecoming. Oh my fucking god! It's so funny. They're really upset. They're really, really upset. Basically, I said I didn't like Aerith, and people were livid, and I just never read any of it, so we're reading it now because it's funny, is what's happening. Again, I do think her over innocent shtick is a bit much. I think she acts like a little girl. Okay, I'm just like not super into that from a love interest in a video game. It is what it is. Look at how many quote tweets there are. And just question mark. It's like I insulted somebody they know. I guess I threatened their best girl. I guess I did. They're calling me obsessed. Because I've tweeted I also am Team Tifa, but that's like I'm obviously Team Tifa. But that's not, I could be team multiple women. My thinking Aerith is a red flag persists regardless of whether or not Tifa was present. You understand what I mean? How many are anime and game profile pictures? It's like, I mean, look, it's like almost all of them are just actually Tifa. Oh, she follows me. Sorry about that. You have a terrible look, by the way. What does that mean? This is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. It's such a throwaway tweet. Cloud's got a massive red flag. Fuck this tweet. Aerith is very hot. It just makes me uncomfortable. I don't know, dude. I just feel weird about it. Tifa fans are the true red flag of a fucking lesbo. I would let Aerith do things. We can tell that you gave that away with the profile picture. There's so many of them, dude. There's so many of them. Get a job. Stay away from her. She's not real. She's not a real human. She doesn't exist. I can't be near her. She's not real. Oh my god. Hating so much on a video game character is an unhealthy... They were so upset by this tweet. Again, I kind of knew it was happening, but I didn't know it was this much. That they went and searched every time I'd mentioned Aerith and found 4 tweets. Oh my god. Thinking this is a red flag. People do not realize everyone has the same taste. Zach is an embodiment of that. Not even your fave caught his attention, just Aerith. Toxic red flag mentality. Oh man, what does this even mean? Literally all I'm trying to say. I just think she's a bit young. I just think she's a bit young. A woman sexualizing other women is a big red flag? What the fuck is this take? What? Women can't sexualize other women? What? Babe, what? Huh? What do you mean? What are you talking about? She's not real, and also that's fine. Women can sexualize other women just fine. Maybe it just keeps going. Fucking hell. Maybe, makes sense coming from you. Maybe this was like part of a huge thing and I just didn't know. And like, so I was just adding on to like some huge Aerith agenda. They said, take this. This doesn't help your case, dude. She looks fucking 12. Do you know what I mean? She looks so young. Look at this little baby. I just think it's a bit weird. The bigger flag is this take. Imagine telling people that what they find attractive in a person is a red flag. Kind of cringe. It's just, maybe they just take things I say really seriously. We will never be free. Oh my god. Maybe Aerith stands just get washed by Tifa stands. Maybe. Like, if maybe it's just like there's so many Tifa fans. We will never be free. Oh, the poor Aerith fans. Look at them. Just fucking... I just keep keeping them down, man. I'm keeping them down. But again, I never looked at any of that. I just sort of suspected it was a thing. But they really did that. They really went and searched it and took it. It just keeps going. So seeing this really hurts me. Please be kind. When can girls help girls? She's not a real girl. She's not real. Seeing this hurts you. Oh my god. I'm glad I chose to do this today. I respect you. This is probably the worst take you've ever had. I've had some bad takes. That can't be true. She just looks so young. I don't know, dude. I just think she looks really young. I just think she looks like a little baby girl. And acts like a little baby girl. You're the red flag for saying this? Seriously? I definitely accidentally just really ran into, yeah. I love how everyone's super defensive reading this comment like their very identity is being put into question. And I want to repeat, this is a thing that happens to me on Twitter all the fucking time. This. I just don't usually see it. And I didn't read any of these. They're taking it so seriously. Alanah, I respect your work since your days at IGN, but this is probably a worse take. It would be much more convincing if you straight up said you hate/dislike Aerith rather than come up with excuses on why other people should not find her attractive. This is the real red flag. They wrote that with their whole chest. And unfollowed me for it. They really wrote that as though it really mattered. Like, really fucking went for it. You know? Reported me for hate. Oh, man. Beautifully designed, not hot, though. I agree. Look, I just think she's too little. She's just too little. Maybe for women who believe they can't attain her level of sublimity. I liked this. I agree. Do they think I'm actually unironically jealous of Aerith? Is that what's happening? Do they think I'm jealous of Aerith? A character that doesn't exist. That's crazy. Whatever you want of child safety. Oh, man. Wow. She's hot and no woman has ever left me because of it? What? 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 Is an Aerith 2 years older than Tifa? She don't fucking act like it. That's all I'm saying. She reeking of pick me isn't it cute? It's pick me? Oh my god. I'm so glad I decided to read these right now. Look how many of them there are. It's so funny. Wow. It just keeps going. This is gonna be the wildest take I've ever seen in my life for anything ever. Thinking big titties is a determining factor in a woman's attractiveness is a red flag? Big titties ain't got nothing to do with it, my guy. Big titties ain't got nothing to do with it. Do I like big titties? Yes. But it ain't that. Well, shit, I mean, everyone has red flags. I guess this can be mine. I love the passive-aggressive question marks. Look how many. It has so much engagement. Ah, what the fuck? He ate. He ate. He kind of ate. This should be a weekly segment this week in Alanah's Twitter feed. Dude, you don't want to see it. Like, you don't want to see it. There's so much of it. There's so much. It's like, I have thought about making a video where I just show you what like a week in the of internet is like for me, and I really feel like most people will be like, what the fuck? Because I feel like I get the same amount of hate that like fucking Hassan does, but I don't do anything. He definitely gets more hate than me. Like, it's, you know, it's, he for sure, I'm not getting that much, but it's so disproportionate to the actual stuff that I do and how boring my takes are. It just, she's cute, she's not hot. That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm fucking saying. Delete. Getting my red flag dance on? Man. Great way to undermine your career and make yourself look foolish. Because I said liking Aerith is a red flag. Oh my god, I wasn't serious. It's not like I, like, 100% wasn't serious. But I wasn't being serious. You know what I mean? It's like, did it come from a place of genuine? Yeah, but like, I don't actually care. You know what I mean? It is in jest, yes. What I said was definitely in jest. I wasn't genuinely hating on it. Telling me she isn't hot here? Yeah, she still looks like a little baby. Look at her little baby face. She still looks like a little baby to me, and I don't want to fuck her because she looks like a little baby. You know? Prime example of when men say it's women putting each other down out of jealousy. This is so funny. This is so funny. I can't believe it's real. I just can't. Prime example of when men say it's women putting down other women. She's not real. She's not a real woman. Out of jealousy, she's not real. You have posts proving you're hating on a video game character. That's wild. Is it? You can have opinions on whatever you want. Most deranged, unhinged, disconnected, and deluded take I've read. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Absolutely nuts. Dumbest take I've seen on this app. Unironically, what did she mean by this? That she looks like a baby. That's what I'm saying. She fucking acts like a baby. Fucking acts like a baby. More to being hot than big tits. See, I find this offensive. I find it offensive that they're suggesting that I only like Tifa because she has big titties. It's the vibes. How dare you? That's rude to real woman Tifa. It just keeps going, you guys. It just keeps going. What are you talking about? There's nothing to do with boobs. It's nothing to do with boobs. Nothing. Are you slut-shaming Tifa? I'd say they're both hot, especially Aerith. At least she shows some class with her swimsuit choice. They're not real women! She didn't pick that! An artist did! It's not her! Oh my god. Crazy. Again, I had never read any of these, and clearly this blew up at least a little bit. It's so nuts. These are the realest women these people have ever interacted with. I guess it's just fan pages. I've just, like, never been that kind of person. Like, I've just never been... I would never, like, defend something this staunchly. It's just not a thing I would even, like, consider doing. I don't know. Like, anyone. Maybe someone I knew personally, but, like, certainly not... I would never do it for a celebrity, and I would definitely never do it for a fake fucking video game character. Like, it's so... People told it was going to undermine my career. That I think she looks like a little girl. Wow. Big wow. Crazy. But very funny. Glad I looked it up, to be honest. Look how many there are. Look how upset they were about that tweet. It's so fucking funny. It's true, she is really hot. She is really hot. She's super hot. Thank you, Radiant Cheesecake. My. The internet. You know what I mean? Yeah, that... I think if I looked at the responses to that in-world AI tweet, it would probably be really similar, but I don't want to look at those ones because it probably won't be as funny. People will probably be, like, really aggressive. Which I was talking about earlier, where, like, they decided that I hate all AI, but really I just said I don't want to have anything to do with a company that is using ChatGPT-4 to write dialogue. Like, that's their whole plan. You know what I mean? That's it. Wow. You upset Twitter? Career is done? Bitch, I upset Twitter on a fucking daily basis at this point. It's not hard. It's really not hard. They be upset regularly. But yeah, I guess the Twitter app no longer tells you how many people you have blocked. Most of the people I blocked, my numbers might be off recently though, because most of the ones that I blocked recently have been ads rather than anything else. Like, they've almost all been just stupid fucking Twitter ads. But I think I have like 700 people blocked, which might sound like a lot to some people, but, like, if you look at the engagement of my average tweet, it's nothing. Like, it's not anything. It's a very small amount. In 10 years, like, it's nothing. That'd be crazy. Like, okay, I guess, like, similar thing. Look at some stupid shit I tweeted recently. I've read very few replies to this. I think I read one to this. This tweet has 56,000 likes and 5.2k. I'm not reading this. 700 replies. I'm never looking through any of this shit. It's just, I just never would. Once that happens, I'll reply to, like, a few people, usually in the first however many minutes, and then just out. I mean, I don't want anything to do with any of it. Same here. I'm just not gonna read them. No, I don't need to read. This has been seen 1.5 million times. I don't need to read any of it. So I just don't. I just post. It's like I just, like, shit and then peace out. Like a little bird. I just sort of fly over there, shit my stupid opinion, and then fly away. And everything's fine. Again, except for, like, the last couple of weeks where I've intentionally been reading things because I kind of want to. But usually, nah. That's what Twitter was meant for. It's kind of true. It was meant for just a little chirp. Just a little chirp, and then you fuck off. Nick Mark got banned, did he? I still don't know that much about him. He got banned from... I did know he got a Twitch ban, but it's not permanent, is it? Twitter is not designed for effective, productive communication. 100%. Not even close. Not even a little tiny baby bit. Can I ask why even bother to post if you don't actually care what people have to say back? It's just the function of the app. Like, I'm just sharing a funny thought for other people to consume. Yeah, I'm not really interested in communication. I don't use it for communication. I'm just like sharing a thought. It's like putting something into the void. I don't do it for communication. Most of the stuff I tweet is like a stupid joke. I'm not there for the feedback. And like, I don't ask people to follow me, you know? They just are there. I've never asked them to, so yeah. It's not, I don't use it for communication. I do read as many YouTube comments as I can because I do like YouTube for communication, to an extent. Like, I can't read all of them, but I do try to read as many as I can. Maybe they just don't trust your eyebrows. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. One of them is entirely fake. Almost. This one. Fraud eyebrow. Shit fraud eyebrow. I find YouTube to be better with, or worse with, in terms of engaging with followers. I don't really know because I don't really do it on Twitter, so it's hard to say. But I think I really like my YouTube community, and I can always tell when somebody has reacted to a video or something, because then I'll get shit comments. Like right now, I think I'm probably getting a bunch of comments where like people clearly have not watched the video, because they're just like saying shit I didn't say or whatever. Yeah, 100%. See, look, yeah. So if I give you this, this is the most recent comments on my latest video. And for context, in this video, I say I don't think the Elden Ring DLC is that hard. I think the game gives you the tools to approach it. I do think you need to get good. I do also talk about accessibility features and how they're separate to just an easy mode and how they're separate conversations. But like this, that's a you problem. The game shouldn't change because of people's lifestyle. Never said it should. That's one that I'd be like, you didn't read the comment. Or you didn't watch the video. Sounds like a you problem, but did you honestly saying that having children and being a parent is a disability? Seriously, go play Hello Kitty Island Adventure. What's the me problem? The video said get good. That's what I said. It'll just, yeah, be this 100% what this person said. It's crazy to me how many people are clearly not actually watching the video and coming from a rage bait tweet. Totally. It'll be just like full of that. Like this dude definitely didn't read it. Having children a literal disability. It's like Shooning has 2 brain cells and they're both fighting for 3rd place. What I said was that in accessibility terms, having something like that is what's called a situational disability, and that is a fact. Also, is this her first time playing a Souls game? From Software always really just patches to balance the game. That doesn't make them easy. I didn't say anything about that either. So it's like mostly like I can tell if something's shared because this will happen. It'll just be like a bunch of people who clearly are not actually watching the video and are just listening to like what some idiot dude said. And so I just like, that's when I'll just be like, whatever, yell at yourself, it's fine. Though I do love being like, did you watch this? What the fuck are you talking about? Because they'll always reply and be like, yeah, I did. And I agree with you. Because then they watch it after I leave that comment. People read YouTube comments again. I don't read them all. But I do try to read them more there than anywhere else. You described 3 different types of disabilities. Yeah. I gave examples of 3 different kinds of disabilities as it pertains to accessibility design. And the context was me being like, they're broader than you think. This is an example, but whatever. They don't care. It is what it is. They never care. Big dumb babies. And they're just, they just like using me for clout on Twitter, really. It is what it is. You don't spend 60 hours a week reading your comments? I do not. Alas, I cannot. There is too fucking much of it. Ba, 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 da. Been wanting to pause these games since the first Dark Souls. You can pause Sekiro. I get why you can't pause them. The design ethos also makes sense to me. It's just like an interesting conversation about accessibility, like when we talk about that stuff. It is an accessibility need that if you want to make a more accessible game, a lot of that stuff's like really simple. Like a lot more simple than you would think and applies to a lot more people than you would think. Outrage tourism of Doctor Who? I haven't heard about any of that. I mean, I've seen a lot of people really upset about Star Wars, about Acolyte. A lot of people are really angry about Acolyte at the moment, but I think Star Wars is pretty bad recently, so I assumed it was justified. Pausing would lead to really boring loadout swap for meta different phases attacks are good. You can't pause Souls games. It's more than just that. It's also like that would really fuck up invasions. Like there are a lot of reasons that a pause can't exist in a FromSoft game, and I didn't make any case in the video that said they should have a pause option. I didn't make anything to say you should do this. It's just discussing accessibility broadly. There are a bunch of reasons they would have to change the game to facilitate that, you know? Thank you, Blazin' Crazy, for the gifted sub. Get why you're unable to pause, but a simple fix would be to prevent pausing once you're invaded or co-oping. Yeah. There are certainly ways around it. Again, accessibility is a really big topic. Nice, 420 subs, nice. What if you play offline? Can you pause them then? No, I don't think you can pause them at any point. I mean, there's a workaround to make a pause work, but it's not a pause feature. Like it's not intuitive. Most people wouldn't know, you know. Star Wars died over a decade ago with prequels, but not like this. But Acolyte is the biz middle finger to the franchise and fandom yet. Yeah, I told myself a long time ago that I would stop making Star Wars content because I started to feel like angry internet dude bros. Like it made me feel like I was the same as them. Because I was just getting really frustrated watching Star Wars. I was just fucking angry. And so I was like, I gotta stop. I just gotta peace out and accept that this thing isn't for me and that that's okay. Which, like, isn't that funny? Like, so much of the conversation around Elden Ring is always like, if it's not for you, that's fine. It doesn't have to be. But it's the same dudes who are yelling about Star Wars not being for them. Pick one. Not every game has to be for everyone. If you don't like it, don't play it. Do the same thing about Star Wars, dude. If you don't like it, stop fucking watching it. If it's not for you, it's not for you. Like, isn't it the same fucking dudes? Like, I'm so sure if I went to the Quarterings YouTube channel, you would see videos about both of these things. Thank you, the real Zarius. Yeah, it just feels like Star Wars is definitely not for me anymore, like I said. And that's okay. So I just had to disengage because, yeah, it was making me mad. I was like, I'm out. I'm good. Don't need it. If you like it, happy for you. Nope. I don't want anything to do with it. It's crazy how not liking Star Wars is political stance now. I mean, sort of. I've never had anybody judge me for saying that. Like, I get but if you say you don't like it, you're a racist and a sexist. Like, I've heard people say that. But I've never had anybody actually treat me that way. They're mad at Acolyte for dumb reasons for the most part. Can't disagree with any objective critique of, but most people argue about canon and franchise and never cared about canon or continuity. Again, that's tough because it's like, I get why fans care about canon, and if you fuck over canon, why people who are invested in something find that frustrating. But again, My whole thing would always be, if you feel that way, just stop engaging with it. Just get out, you know? Because then at the very least you're giving it less money. So it's not just like being told that it's successful. We get mad about Star Wars. I did summon Jacob. Hi, Jacob. It is sunk cost fallacy a little bit, yeah. But it's like just the more that you talk about the thing and continue to watch it to make your hate content, the more you're kind of telling Disney you want more of the thing. Like, just peace out. You know what I mean? You ain't got to get all up in there. And yeah, the way that they've fucked up the canon is weird. Like, I would love, it'll never happen because it's Disney, but I would like love to see like an inside look on how the hell Star Wars got to be where it is now, where like some of the writing is terrible, some of it looks really cheap, like they are sort of rejecting parts of canon. Like, again, I'm not watching it anymore, but how did that happen? Why did that happen? It's very strange. But yeah, they'll never talk about it, so. Wonder how much the Go Woke Go Broke crowd drives engagement for Disney. Dude, definitely. They definitely do. You like advertise it everywhere. I barely even knew Acolyte was out until I saw all the outrage. What's the balance though? How do you tell a studio I don't like this, but that doesn't mean I don't want more Star Wars, just not this Star Wars? You would not watch this Star Wars. You would maybe like just continue watching the old ones or like buy merch for the old ones. But just definitely don't watch the stuff you don't like, because yeah, they're just gonna make more of it. Dave Filoni definitely cares deeply about Star Wars. I agree. Filoni definitely cares. For sure. I did blow a lid when people took Jar Jar Binks being a Sith Lord as a possible series theory. Did they? People took that seriously? That's crazy. When you say not watching, do you mean the new stuff? Yeah, just don't watch the new stuff. Don't watch the stuff you don't like. You can still watch the stuff you do like. Separate things. Fans are advocating for Elon Musk to buy Star Wars and ruin it? Or run it. Wild. A lot of people are like, this sucks in the back for the next episode. Yeah. And it's like, I remember having this argument with Bruce about Game of Thrones, where I was like, wow, this is fucking shit now. Like, I really did think that the last like 2 seasons were really bad. Like, I just thought they were dog shit. And he was like, just stop watching. That one felt a little different to me because I had already seen however many seasons and I was so close to the end. That like, usually I would agree and I would be like, okay, I'm out. But with that specifically, I was like, I'm so close though. That I would feel unfulfilled not having it be wrapped up. Like, I knew I hated Obi-Wan, but I still finished the show because it's like one show. That feels a little different to me than like an individual series. And like, I haven't watched House of Dragon in part because I hated Game of Thrones towards the end. You know? Yeah, thank you, MK Nunstra, for the 10 gifted subs. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have 318 subs to go before the giveaway. Thank you. I appreciate you. You've been very nice today. It's been a really random 3 hours of just chatting. But I don't know. Sometimes it's nice to just chat and make fun of Aerith stands. So funny. I can't believe it happened. So stupid. Accumulating topics for the ultimate rage tweet. I hated Star Wars. Elden Ring is too hard. Liking FF girls is a red flag. I guess if I ever want to piss anyone off again, I know. I mean, look, again, it's not like I have to try. But I could just go straight for the Aerith. Just go straight for it. Do it again. I should make effort to bring up Aerith when it's not even relevant. Just to, like, cause the seethe, you know? Because we know they're looking now. We know they're looking. She looked like a little girl. That's all. She act like a little girl. That's all I'm saying. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. 100% agreed. Like that by reaching the conclusion of overarching narrative that you've watched 6 seasons. Yeah, that's why I stuck with Game of Thrones, is because like I was trying to finish the thing I'd already. It was the end of a thing I'd already watched majority of, right? Whereas with the new seasons of Star Wars, I finished Obi-Wan, And then fucking and Boba Fett and was like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not doing it. I don't want anything to do with any of it anymore. And so I just don't. Randy talk shit about Aerith, just like Monster Bright Light. That's if you ever want to start some shit on the internet, just in unrelated tweets, just be like, and you know what? Fuck Aerith. It's so funny. I can't believe they were like, someone called me a pick-me. They called me a pick-me. She's not real. Oh my god. It's so funny. I missed the cozy time when Game of Thrones was a quality show everyone liked. Bro, those were the times. And then it really all fell apart. Do you remember when it was a good television show? Stuff like this always bums me out. I feel this way about Assassin's Creed. When it's like, man, you almost made the best thing ever made. You were so close to making the best thing ever made. And then you didn't. And then you just didn't. That's crazy. You were right there. And I feel that way about Assassin's Creed because Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and while I did like Brotherhood and Revelations, in theory 3 was supposed to be the end where it like capped off that whole arc that they set up with the people who came before and all the fucking glyphs and like who is Desmond? Like all that shit was supposed to be wrapped up. The overarching story that was like it would have been such a good sci-fi story. And then they went, nah, and it's gone. And it's just gone. And it bums me out. Because again, you almost had the best thing ever made. You almost had one of the best video game trilogies, sci-fi trilogies of all time. And then you didn't. AC1 is not a good game, but the story stuff is really fun. Thank you, Dempa. Yeah, the way they got rid of Desmond, it still bums me out. We wouldn't have had Black Flag. See, we could have had Black Flag though, because like if they had made 1, 2, Brotherhood Revelations 3, and had it actually wrap up the story that they clearly set up in 1 and 2, and like it went a little side quest for Brotherhood, which is actually my favorite AC game. That sci-fi story still could have existed and been wrapped up with all the Abstergo shit and the Animus and all this like this. It was so much lore in there. You still could have had the pirate game. But you still could have done that. And I love Black Flag. That's the one that I definitely have the most time in. But it didn't even need to have Abstergo. I think Ubisoft just came out and said they were like remaking the original Assassin's Creeds, which I'm actually not against. Speaking of which, I'd play Brotherhood again if it was updated. I'm sure it's aged pretty badly, but yeah. Isn't it like 2 a.m. on a weekday? It sure is, yeah. It sure is. It happens. Watch Dogs would have been a great transition for Desmond's story. It might have even started that way, you know? It may have even started that way. Assassin's Creed is also a hot topic right now if you want to start internet beef. I don't need to try. All I need to do is say something along the lines of Aerith red flag. Look how mad they are. It's so silly. For a thing, shut up, Alanah. For a thing that I never even looked at, they would. My favorite is all of these. All the people who just went little passive aggressive little question marks they added. That's my favorite. I love it. Like, excuse me, bitch? Look at them go. They were not happy. I also have this fun thing that I do everyone when people hate watching my videos, which I know now that they are with the Elden Ring one. I just add more ads so that everyone who comes to hate watch it has to sit through more ads. So that video previously had 1 ad and a sponsor and now has 4 ads. I do it every time. I'm like, okay, just make me more money then. If that's what you're stopping by to do. All right. More money. Let's do it. And I do it every time. And then I just leave it there. And I'll take it back when the hate watchers fuck off. What did I say about Elden Ring? I didn't say anything. I said that I explained different types of accessibility terms and explained that having children is considered a situational disability for the purposes of accessibility, which it is. This is a fact. It is what it is. Is there a franchise I'd love to write for? I don't really think about things that way. I care about people, so I don't think about things in terms of like, oh, here's a franchise I really want to write on. It's more about people I would like to work with. Because I can write anything whenever I want. Like, sure, it wouldn't be a franchise, but I could write something similar to a franchise I like whenever I like. I write a ton in my spare time still. But yeah, it's more about like who do I get to learn from and how do I feel about my team. Like, I love my team at Santa Monica Studio. I really, really love the people I work with. Would I like to write for a Peter Molyneux Fable? Probably not. I mean, I would have loved to have worked on Fable in any capacity, to be honest. And did tell them as such, but it's not happening. But yeah, I care a lot more about the people I work with than the things I work on in a lot of ways. Just lucky that I'm a big fan of everything Santa Monica Studio makes. Publish a novel, what genre would it be? I've been writing a young adult sci-fi dystopian type novel for my nieces. My sister is into that kind of thing, so I've been writing that. Let me check how many words it is now. I published the first chapter. It was an early draft of the first chapter on Patreon for my top tier. I was like, if you guys want to read this, you can. Let me see how many words I have now. View word count? Format word count. I don't remember where to find the word count on here. Oh, here we go. It is currently 36,000 words. So I've been writing that for my nieces with the goal of like when they're old enough, they would be able to read it. And I have never cared about publishing my fictional writing. I've always been that way. I think the reason I am that way, I've said before, is because when I was a kid, my dad wrote this book for my sister and I called Ruzzy Bee. It had all these songs about this bee called Ruzzy. And he never published it. He just made it for my sister and I. And so I prefer to use creative things like that to make myself happy and to share with people I love. I have just no interest in publishing. It doesn't motivate me. I don't give a shit. I don't know. I know that's unusual. I just don't. It doesn't motivate me because most writers would want to publish everything. I just don't really care. But I might do that one when I finish it, which I'm sure will take me ages. But when I finish it, because the thought is that I would use whatever money it makes and just give it to my nieces. So like, if I sell it, they would just get all of the money. And then my nieces would just have some money. Probably wouldn't be very much, but like you don't really need like a college fund in Australia, but similar kind of thing. Sort of my idea. That would be a thing that would motivate me to actually publish. Do I have a cover artist for it? No, it's just a document with words in it. It doesn't have any planning of any kind. Nothing like that. So yeah, maybe. I should really turn off that cult totem, huh? I just don't know how to do it. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's a little funny that people can contribute to a cult totem, I guess. Yeah. It's from Cult of the Lamb. It's a point sync now, I guess. Yeah. Dude, I bet if I download that game again that I'd have a ton of them. Because it's been like years that it's been sitting there. It is a little funny. That game rules. It's a very, very, very good game. Huge fan. It has co-op now? Oh, my. Well. I didn't know that. Pretending the cult is for a video game? I don't know what you mean. I would never organize a cult. That's... me? No, never. Shut up. I wouldn't. I don't have it in me. I think Rahul could start a cult. I think Jacob could start a cult. Me? No. I have too much shit going on. It's just not my vibe. And I don't like people enough. Like, I don't want to talk to anybody, really, you know? That just seems like it would require a lot of communication. I'm just not about it, man. I'm just not about it. Too much. Praise Banjo? I'd start a Banjo cult in a heartbeat, dude. I'd start a cult for my little boy, my sweet little man. He's the best thing that's ever happened to me. He's my best friend. I love him so much. Had a weird dream last night about meeting you and Rahul in LA and asking me about Elon Musk because he's also South African. I messaged Elon the other day. We talk occasionally. I know this is a thing that I've mentioned on the internet. This is so funny to me. Look, hang on. I have to make sure that you can't see any of my other messages, though. It's risky. I'm taking risks here. So, yeah, sending out. Unexpected. Okay, everything here is fine. But I'll just do that anyway. Move it over. Save everybody's DMs. Open up the display capture. There you go. I just said, Elon, I'm trying to watch the Kendrick show live, but it won't load. Please help. And he said, you're parked? And that was it. Because we were in the parking lot outside of the Kendrick show, trying to make sure that Kendrick wasn't coming on, so that we can make sure to go inside. And so I just sent him that. And he just said, you're parked. Yep. It will never not be funny to me that I can just DM Elon Musk. Crazy. Crazy. That's crazy. It's so crazy. How I was seeing that live, it was insane. It was insane. It was crazy. That was crazy. The whole thing is just crazy. But it was super fun. Yeah, it was the vibe was like a little more low key than I expected. Like it was like people seemed a little less excited than I expected who were there in person, but like I was just so fucking excited to be there. It was very cool. Had a good time. Now all you have to do is respond to his tweets with "you're parked." I responded to one of his tweets once, and I had somebody reply with like, "Wow, even people like you are simps for celebrities. This is so boring and lame." Like it was something like calling me out for trying to get attention from a celebrity, but at the time I was replying to someone who was regularly DMing me, but I didn't want to out it, so I don't try to talk about the Elon DMs too often. Just leave that where it is. Looking into buying an office chair. Which one do you use? It's a Herman Miller, and I'm a big fan of my chair. Very comfortable. I like it a lot. All right, I'm gonna go to bed, everybody. I'm debating whether I want to eat before I go to bed, but I'm tired. I don't feel like I need to eat, but I should eat because I didn't have enough food. And I said Alan Wake 2 was a maybe. Okay, maybe tomorrow night. I do want to finish the DLC. So, what's the model on the Herman? I don't remember. It's a Logitech Herman crossover. That's all I know. Let's raid Dish, who's funnily enough playing Final Fantasy. Don't say anything about Aerith. Nobody say anything about Aerith. Okay, don't spread the hate to anyone new. Okay, she doesn't need to. She doesn't. I didn't even need to know. She definitely doesn't need to know. You keep that between us. All right. You don't need to tell her.